Louisiana welcomes an early season WAC matchup. A couple of blue guys figure prominently. Sophomore Steven Madison leading the Vandals in scoring. Senior guard Trevor Gaskins, top rebounder for the Bulldogs. They'll square off next. Welcome inside the Thomas Assembly Center in Ruston, Louisiana. An early season WAC matchup as the Idaho Vandals make the long trip to Ruston to take on Louisiana Tech. Hi, everybody. Alongside Nate Ross, the longtime college basketball assistant, I'm Trey Bender. Glad you're with us. This is a contrasting in styles. Louisiana Tech, a new program under Michael White, 7 newcomers, up-tempo. Idaho, meanwhile, established tradition with Don Verlin. They shoot the basketball well.
Don Verlin learned it well from Stu Morrill. It's his 4th year. He knows what he wants to do. More importantly, the kids know what he wants to do. Michael White, on the other hand, first-year head coach. His kids have only played 16 games. They don't know the system. They want to run. They want to get in transition. They want to be exciting to watch. So far, they have been.
The one-on-one matchup highlights maybe the best pivot in the WAC, and Kyle Barone, impact player on both ends. Raheem Appleby could be WAC Freshman of the Year.
No question. Kyle Barone is the glue of this basketball team. You can see the numbers there. 12 and 8. He is the guy that scores inside and from the mid-range position. He's very good. He's a very good post player. Raheem Appleby is the future of this program. Coach White says he loved his freshman class. Raheem is the star of that freshman class, and it's going to be for the next 4 years here.
The Bulldogs have been tough to beat on the home floor. 6-1 in this building this year. The Vandals have never won at the Thomas Assembly Center. Lineups and tip-off next from Ruston. Tonight's Western Athletic Conference game is brought to you by the 2012 ESPN National Golf Challenge. Go to espngolf.com to sign up today.
This is a public announcement. CNNMoney.com reports that in some areas of the country, buyers are scooping up homes for as little as $1,000. Foreclosures are at an all-time high. Government and private banks are liquidating these homes now. If you currently rent a house or apartment, you may call now and learn how to receive your free list of these homes. All others may call tomorrow. Every house must be sold. This is a public announcement.
Call 1-800-590-6974. That's 1-800-590-6974.
Welcome back to Ruston. Vandals, Bulldogs, ready to go here at the Thomas Assembly Center. Let's take a look at the lineups. First for the visitors from Moscow, Idaho. They have a very impressive group when you look at the front court guys, Vandemel and Barone, shot blockers, Tatum and Geiger. Very excellent at setting the table and shooting from the outside. Madison's kind of the glue guy. And for Louisiana Tech, a lot of freshmen that expect to be impact players, included Smith and Appleby. And Smith's going to get the start here, and they call him Speedy, freshman from St. Petersburg, Florida.
Well, he's a great assist man. As Coach told us yesterday, he's an old-fashioned point guard. He looks pass first. He's a very capable player, and they're a young team, so they're going to start different lineups.
Don Verlin, his team's defined by good shot selection, tough D. First Idaho coach since Larry Eustace to reach 50 wins in 3 seasons. And there's Michael White, just 34 years old, 7 years as an assistant at Ole Miss, helped land 3 recruiting classes in the top 25, and we're underway. Mark Whitehead, our lead official. Idaho wins the tip, and they get the basketball first. Here's Madison. Back iron. Gets his own rebound and the follow. Leading scorer right there.
I was just going to say, he leads him in scoring, and he's not flashy. He just doesn't make mistakes. Very solid player, and only a sophomore.
You see Idaho in zone most of the time here, trying to slow down the up-tempo style of the Bulldogs. Here's Brandon Gibson straight away off the mark. Barone the rebound.
Gibson, unfortunately, a guy who was hurt all last year. Got hurt in the first conference game of the year last year. Back and healthy.
You leave Tatum alone and you can't do it. Doesn't shoot it a lot, but very effective at 48%. Let's take a look at the keys here. Nate, heading into this one.
Well, for Louisiana Tech, transition defense, they got to get back in lanes. They didn't that time. They got to the middle, and an easy shot by Idaho. And secondly, they got to use the line. They've had plenty of open shots, as Coach White told us. They just haven't made them. Three-point line is a big equalizer.
Souza with the bucket on the other end. They get it quickly down to Tatum on the block, and he's fouled. Idaho will push tempo from time to time, but they like to get into their sets as we look at their keys.
For Idaho, they have to get the ball to Barone. He's the key to their basketball team. He's a leader as well as their best player. And run with a purpose. As you said, they don't run a lot, but an opportunity break they got to take, because as many easy baskets as you can get in the game, it's tougher than having to grind it out against a very athletic Louisiana Tech basketball team on the defensive end.
Tatum on the line, the table setter, kind of a calming influence. Senior from San Antonio, led the WAC in assist-turnover ratio last year. And look at the numbers this year, very effective.
Big difference in both sets of guards. The guards are freshmen for Louisiana Tech, and you can see their body types. For Idaho, they're not freshmen, they're bigger, stronger kids. Doesn't mean they're better players. It's a different body type right now.
Appleby, the guy we talked about in the open on the right wing. Here's the other freshman, Smith, and he throws it away. Smith, a guy that loves to pass, not on the same page with his teammate right there.
Well, that's two freshmen who've only played 16 college basketball games together. That's all that is. They'll get in sync, and they'll know where they each want it to score. That time, Mr. Smith not on the same page.
And here's that pressure that Idaho practiced so much against this week, and Barone travels at the big man.
Well, that's exactly what you want. You want to speed up a team that doesn't want to play at this pace. They got the ball in the middle of the floor. All he's got to do is swing it, move both feet. Good call. The idea is to get it to the center and get it to the other side before the bodies can get there. They didn't. You're right. They were disciplined in their approach.
So much emphasis on that pressure defense, practicing against it at the shoot-around, as Souza is fouled on the baseline. And Vandals, the senior from Quebec City, Canada, picking up the personal. He has been a revelation, especially in the defensive end, with 27 block shots.
If Mr. Vandals gets it within a foot of the basket, he's going to hammer it home hard. And a really good shot blocker in there, Barone. That's some big bodies inside.
And often you have one shot blocker, but two has really given Verlin some versatility in that zone defense. There's Keon McNeil, their starter at point guard last year, missing. The tip is up and in, though. Brandon Gibson.
Right place at the right time. That should not happen, and I'm sure that Coach Verlin's going to talk about it in the first time out. You shouldn't dribble through a zone for a layup. It just shouldn't happen.
They beat the press into the hands of Geiger. Now Tatum will set things up here. 6-4 early stages from Ruston. Barone tries to pass it on the block to Vandals, and that's what the Bulldogs want to do. Now they're in transition. Appleby, and he shows his explosive ability on the baseline.
You look at that shot and you figure, how can he get it off against bigger players? Folks, that's what he does. He's really good at it. He's very elusive and unconventional, but he scores with efficiency.
Freshman from Jacksonville, Arkansas, just outside Little Rock. Here's that pressure again, and another Bulldogs steal. Gibson, they get it ahead to Appleby again. Runner off the mark, Souza with the tip in.
Appleby with the little runner, and he and Souza both hit it. If the scorer is smart, he gives it to the freshman rather than the senior to pad the average. We'll see.
Pretty clear what Tech wants to do. They want to force pressure, turnovers, and get this game at a high rate. And last two possessions have been good. Geiger inside, and Vandals. Good hands near the rim.
Well, you're going to give up some layups like that when you press. That's not to be unexpected.
Gibson for three. This guy might be the X factor, Nate. He had 16 against New Mexico State, a career-high 22 at SMU.
Well, as Coach told us, if they can make threes, they're tough to beat. They have plenty of openings. They just don't make them.
Keep the pressure this time into the corner. Geiger, 3 off the mark. Bulldogs in transition again. McNeil, Souza to his left. And the up-tempo style forces an Idaho timeout. This is the type of team Michael White would love to see, and the fans appreciate it.
Well, and if you think, how can they keep this pace up? They play 11 bodies. That's how they keep the pace up. This is what they want to do. I thought Souza was going to give it back. Gaskins, a nice finish. Right, coming right into your living room. Big man, Souza with the finish. It's nice to run the floor and give the big man the basketball, but he's got to finish, and he did right there.
An 11-2 run. The Bulldogs have hit 5 of their first 8 shots, and this is an exciting brand of basketball. And, you know, 7 newcomers learning the system, but starting to understand they can get a lot of points in transition off of their defense.
Well, they were recruited to play this style. That's why the people at Louisiana Tech, Coach White and his assistants recruited them, and so far so good.
Tatum draws the double. And the Vandals having some trouble getting that cleared, and they finally do. And Madison for 3. And he squares, or he draws him within 2 on that 3 from the left wing.
And you saw Barone calling somebody get in the middle. He pointed. Vanderbilt got there. Ball went in. Ball went kick. Ball got kicked out. Easy 3.
Pretty good shooter at 38% from beyond the arc. Madison inside Appleby. Wild shot is blocked.
Once you're in the air, you got to shoot it or pass it. He did neither.
And the Vandals turn it over on the other end. We'll take a break at the 15:36 mark. Right now, the tempo in the Bulldogs' favor. They're forcing pressure and turnovers and getting some easy buckets on the other end. Madison with the 3, but turnovers have been a concern for the visitors.
John Mapes is 42, mortgage, married, 2 great kids. He wants to protect his family with a $500,000 term life insurance policy. What do you think it'll cost him? $100 a month? 60? 40? Actually, none of the above. John can get a $500,000 policy from a highly rated insurer for under $25 a month. His secret? SelectQuote. SelectQuote is impartial. They'll search the pick of insurers like these to give you a choice of your best prices. SelectQuote has great savings on term life for women, too. John's wife, Carrie, can get a $500,000 policy for under $16 a month. SelectQuote has helped make term life insurance affordable for hundreds of thousands of people since 1985. How about you? Just call this number or visit SelectQuote.com.
The Bulldogs' frantic style of play in that pressure D, Michael White paying dividends here. 3 turnovers in the early going.
When you play this style of defense, a deflection is as good as a steal. It turns into a steal and a turnover. And then if you got a finisher at the other end like Appleby, get him the basketball and watch him go to work. What a great crossover. Missed the shot. Tips it in over 6'10" from Mario Souza.
Here's a look at the points off turnovers. The concern with the offense, trying to find ways to get to the foul line, generate some interior presence, but when you get points off your defense, that really opens things up.
It's a 2-3 zone first time by the Bulldogs.
Geiger's the big threat from the outside. Here's Barone, foul line jumper off the mark. Gibson the rebound.
I love it when a coach changes defenses in a timeout, because you know the other coach talked about how they didn't attack it properly, and then it's a different defense.
Sousa squares up, drives the lane, and misses the bunny underneath. Barone the rebound.
Talking about how big guys got to finish. He didn't transition. Not so there.
Ansah Habib, who's checked in, a little bit out of control here, and this one is going the other way.
Vandals inside. Interesting with this frantic pace that Coach White has not subbed anybody yet. He will, he just hasn't done it yet.
First foul of the game on the Vandals. Vandemel. They fall back into that zone. Gibson in the middle of it now. Big men patrolling the corners in that zone. Here's who's on the block.
I love Smith at the top. Oh, he turned it over. I thought he was going to make a good pass.
Into the hands of Habib, and he gives it back up. Appleby the steal. And Smith into the hands of McNeil, who's a veteran, as a sophomore, handling the basketball. They've got some ball handlers, some very athletic guys in the perimeter.
No question about it. Now they in transition, they went to man. On a miss their man, on a make their game.
Gibson for three. Off the mark that time.
It's a tough cover for Barone to go out there and start somebody on the line.
The true freshman has that one blocked. Vandemel off the window. Good looking shot from the senior, and he's been a real spark plug.
They practiced that a lot. A quick bank shot. It's a perfect shot. It's unstoppable.
Well, this is up-tempo. This really, you think, is in Louisiana Tech's favor. We're tied, though, as Tatum drives the lane. And an offensive foul. They have really been out of control. This is not the style of play they want here, Nate, and Louisiana Tech really benefiting from it.
It was a good move by Tatum, and then he lost control. Watch this. Vandemel gets it. No hesitation. Jump hook. Can't be stopped. It's a shot that most big men should learn, because the width of your body, your shoulders, keeps you away from the defender. And when you can jump like Vandemel, you can score every time with it.
J.L. Lewis checking in, 6'8" junior from Gonzales, Louisiana. Big body at 240 pounds, former New Orleans player, staying in state. Bulldogs chance for the lead here.
Three-quarter quick press is the bother him.
And the jumper good from Trevor Gaskins. As the senior has been a real leader in a lot of ways, gives him the lead.
We saw him practicing that all morning from those corners with coaches after practice as well. If they can hit threes, Coach told us they're going to be tough. Nice steal.
Appleby stepping in front of Barone, and the finish for the 6'2" freshman.
They are anticipating where the ball's going, and they're gambling, and it's paying off.
Boy, he read Habib all the way on that pass in the middle of the court.
Great anticipation. I told you he's going to be special. He's special already.
That is 6 turnovers already. There's another one. Number 7, Appleby. Barone challenging, and he forced him to miss the shot. Tatum the other way. And Tatum is fouled on his drive to the rim. Foul on Connor Hill. Here's Appleby in transition.
He anticipates, watches, steals the pass, and it's gone. And I didn't know he could do this. That's pretty impressive. That's a nice finish. Just great anticipation. He knows he can gamble. And then the phenomenal finish for the freshman.
You can see why they're excited about number 3. MVP of the Arkansas High School All-Star Game in June. WAC Freshman of the Year candidate, and just plays with a swagger, doesn't he? On both ends.
No question about it. They've played very well. They've only lost 1 game in this building this year. And freshmen, the greatest thing they can have and the toughest thing to get back if they lose is their confidence. He has his confidence right now. You can see what he's done very early in this basketball game.
Couple steals as well for Raheem. Mike McChristian's checked in for Idaho. Both teams going into their benches at this frantic pace here, trying to have some fresh bodies on the floor. Appleby for 3, short. Tipped out of bounds, it's going to go to the Vandals.
If he can do that consistently and make threes, you've got to get out and cover him, and then he's so good off the dribble. That's not the best part of his game, but that's the part he works on the hardest. That'll make him a complete guard in this league.
Tatum sits down, Geiger back on the floor. They stick with that pressure defense. 8 turnovers for Idaho here in the first 8 minutes. Geiger was their point guard last year. Maybe he can settle things down a little bit with Tatum on the bench.
You need that settling down against the pressure more than in the half court.
Back clock under 10. Baseline, Kammerer off the mark, and the rebound pulled down by Cordarius Johnson.
If you miss a shot for Idaho, you better get back because the Bulldogs are coming at you hard.
Speedy will slow things down here. He doesn't slow things down too often.
This is the first set they've run all night because they haven't had to in transition. They've been very good.
Kenneth Speedy Smith on the move. Well off the mark with that one. Kammerer another rebound.
He's going to get fouled. That's a freshman move.
Idaho looking for some offense. They have really struggled on this side of the floor. Connor Hill, a freshman from Post Falls, Idaho. Here's Kammerer. Patient on this possession. Shot clock at 5. Madison travels. Good defense from Louisiana Tech. And we'll take a break. 9 turnovers with 11:18 to go in the first half. Appleby and the Bulldogs setting the tone, setting the pace, and getting easy buckets off their defense.
Listen up, America! Listen up, America. The recent health care bill will not take effect until at least 2014, leaving families and individuals lacking health insurance with no immediate solution to their concerns. But here's the good news. A health insurance hotline has been established to provide affordable health insurance for all uninsured Americans. And yes, uninsured Americans with pre-existing conditions. Call the health insurance hotline now and get you and your family covered today.
With Northern Louisiana Medical Center's 30-minute releasing our service pledge, the entire team is committed to working diligently to have you seen initially by physician, physician assistant, and nurse practitioner within 30 minutes of your arrival. When minutes matter, choose Northern Louisiana.
The home team with a 5-point lead. Defense has been the story. Louisiana Tech leads the WAC, almost 8 steals per game. 3 steals key in the first half.
We knew Raheem Appleby was a good offensive player. Coach never told us what anticipation he has, and that's a product of the style of the way they play. They're quick, they gamble, but they're quick enough to not get burned when they gamble. And when you turn the ball over against a team like that, you're going to pay for it. You can see 11 points off 9 turnovers. Louisiana Tech has 11 points off 9 Idaho turnovers already.
Idaho takes care of it. They average a WAC best in assists, but they only turn it over 14 times per game.
I was going to say when you turn the ball over against a normal team. But
right.
And that sounded like a detrimental comment. This is a really good team, but they don't play normally on defense. They gamble and it pays off. They get after you.
Madison is fouled. That's Lewis coming over the back with the personal foul right there. And that is the third team foul on Louisiana Tech here.
That's the other thing that's really good, Trey. They play that hard, but they don't foul. Oh, they forgot to cover him.
Off the inbound, Kammerer left wide open. Nobody there.
Remember how many times they practiced that play today?
They went over it several times, yep.
At least 5 or 6 times to get that particular shot and it worked.
You told me, though, you can't learn everything in practice. You just got to pick the main point. Well, that was one of the main points.
It's just tough to know all the sets the other team's going to run once the game gets started.
Here's Gibson. Big body at 6'5". Bank off the mark. Scramble underneath for it. Vandals have it. Into the hands of Geiger. Hill on the drive is fouled, and Gaskins is going to pick up the personal team foul number 4. Don Verlin, who's had so much success running around this Vandals program. CollegeInsider.com tournaments, and he believes they can be a top-tier team in this conference if things break right for him.
Well, I agree with him. He's got really skilled players. Verlin has not done his thing yet. Inside, he's very capable. And this young man can shoot it.
Connor Hill off the mark. Hammerer into the hands of McNeil. Here's Gaskins on the other end, and the Ole Miss transfer can't get it to go. With Christian the other way. Hill off the mark on the 3, and the Vandals right now really struggling.
The great thing about them, and if you play for Coach White, the great thing about it is you're not going to stop doing this. You're going to run it every time. So get in shape and make it pay off when you catch the ball in transition.
2 post players about to come in for the Vandals. Shot off the mark for Gibson. Here's Geiger again in the middle. What a spin move. Can't get the shot to fall, though. Lewis the rebound.
This is where the depth of Louisiana Tech's going to come in here because they have more bodies to run.
Johnson, there's one of them, off the bench with a bucket. Sophomore who last year was a big part of their rotation.
What you got to do, middle and reverse it. They didn't do when they turned it over early.
Tech shooting just 38%, but they're getting easy buckets off transition. Reverse off the mark for Madison. Gibson altered that shot a little bit.
Both teams look a little bit winded here.
Gaskins with the spin and a foul on the floor. This is a guy that is one of their glue guys, and it's nice to have a leader, a guy that has his degree as an important part of that Ole Miss team the last 3 years.
And most importantly, knows what Coach White wants. Coach White obviously was the assistant at Mississippi. You can see the foul before the shot there on Gaskins. But he knows Coach White. Coach White knows him, and you can get your message across through a player sometimes easier than you can telling somebody what you want. And he can do that as a senior and a leader, as you said.
Leads the team in minutes. Going to get a breather here at the 8:29 mark as the Bulldogs will keep it here. But that can be a real help, having the depth they have. They can play 10 bodies effectively.
They have to. They'll wear guys out. As hard as they play on defense and as hard as they push it, you know you're going to get in the game. You don't know when. You average, I think, 10 or 11 guys in double-figure minutes. You're going to get your minutes. You just got to make them pay off.
And there's a 3 that goes down for Cordarius Johnson. You've got to respect him from the outside. 31 threes for him this year. And they have their biggest lead now at 8.
What?
Geiger. Contact. And the foul called on Louisiana Tech. Gibson picking up the first one. Break time, 7:59 to go first half. Cordarius Johnson, the sophomore, knocking down the three-pointer. Tech has their biggest lead.
Do you owe more than $10,000 to the IRS or state in back taxes? Hi, I'm Max with Blue Tax. Due to the current economy, the IRS and state tax agencies are being more lenient, but this won't last long. Here's how it works. Let's say you owe $20,000. With Blue Tax, this is what your settlement could look like. Great, right? There are many relief programs that taxpayers just don't know about, and you can wind up paying way less than you owe. Our team of attorneys and enrolled agents can negotiate settlements, lift bank levies, remove wage garnishments, eliminate penalties and interest, and reduce back payroll taxes. And at Blue Tax, we mean business. Those are my tax attorneys, and they don't mess around. They'll call the IRS or state on your behalf and negotiate your settlement for you. It's that easy. So call us right now for a free consultation at
800-691-7146
or visit www.bluetax.com. And remember, you heard it from me, Max, at Blue Tax.
800-691-7146.
What could be better than Texas ball and Raising Cane's chicken fingers? Great Raising Cane's chicken fingers. If the Bulldogs score 65 points, you win. Just take your game ticket or student coupon to Raising Cane's by the close of business tomorrow. Buying any Cane's chicken finger combo and get the second one absolutely free.
The Bulldogs looking good at home. They have 11 points in transition off their defense. It's funny how the defense helps out the offense.
There's no question about it. When you're stealing the basketball, when you're turning the other team over, you have confidence. You can see bombing threes. That was a deep one by Johnson. The team that shoots 30% on the year, shooting 43% tonight so far.
Could we be looking here at the surprise in this conference in Louisiana Tech with their style of play? They were picked as the last place team in the preseason poll, but maybe they'll surprise some people.
Well, a lot of freshmen, and nobody knew what these freshmen could do. They're really good at home. To win on the road is what's going to make that man happy as the head coach. And you've got to build, like I said, confidence is a great thing. If you can believe that this is your court and you're not going to lose at home, you can carry that feeling over when you go on the road, because there's a lot of crazy travel in this league, as we all know.
No doubt about it. 3,500 miles separating these two schools. Glad you're with us. Alongside Nate Ross, I'm Trey Bender. 23-16 Bulldogs. They have set the tempo in this one, forcing 9 turnovers and cashing in on the other end. Raheem Appleby, the freshman sensation, has been big, leading the way with 6 points. Here's Jeremy Geiger, a deadly outside shooter, trying to get this Idaho offense on track. Cuts the lead to 6.
And if you're a Idaho fan, the good news is the last time out they had 9 turnovers as well, so they have not turned the ball over since the previous time out.
Starting 5 on the floor for Idaho.
They call this baseline. They just run, in this case it's Appleby, corner to corner until they get the matchup they want.
Ballback shot won't go for Appleby. Gibson the offensive rebound. And he's fouled by Vandemel. A lot of contact there. Had his mouthpiece knocked out.
Eamon Gibson, 6'5", 225. Just out-muscles Vandemel. Loose ball gets it and takes it right into a shot blocker's chest. In this case, his chin. That's why you wear a mouthpiece, young man. But that's what you have to do.
And he's not a lot bigger. He's 6'7", 220. Gibson's stocky, 6'5", 225. Gives him a lot of options in his game, what he brings to the table.
Vandemel usually gets away from the shooter and you can block the shot easier. When you take it into a shot blocker's chest, there's nothing you can do about it, except in that case, he fouls you.
First trip to the line for Louisiana Tech. Look at Brandon Gibson's numbers. He has had some breakthrough performances, though, this year. The 22 at SMU, 9 field goals on 15 attempts. He can shoot them to some victories here down the stretch. We'll see how it plays out. He's already an important part of this rotation.
We talked about his injury last year and that hurt in the first conference game. It's amazing the things you learn when you don't play for you. Unfortunately, it's because of an injury. But you just want to make up for everything, and you can't make it up in one game. This is his 17th, so he's playing very well tonight.
And there was a torn ACL 5 minutes into that opener. Shot off the mark for Habib. Gibson the rebound. Here's Appleby. Quick step move and draws contact. His first step is lightning quick. And Geiger had a tough time handling him.
Nice hesitation move, and then he puts on that second burner. Goes right by the defender, and of course, draws the easy foul. That time Jeremy Geiger got him.
Averaging 17 points in his last 10 games, and you can see his confidence building, and you see that in freshmen, don't you?
There's no question about it. And he's he's a tough cover because he can obviously, he's not a great standstill shooter from deep, but you can see what he's doing on the season right there by those numbers. But in transition, and that's what this team's going to do, is give him the ball in transition. He is tough to stop.
8 points to stretch the lead to 10 here, under 7 minutes first half.
I didn't think he was as good as an anticipator on defense as we saw early in the game for steals, but he is.
Started off the season, had a game-winning 3 at the buzzer and a second overtime win against Northwestern State, but he's gotten better, more consistent the last month. Shot clock at 10. Barone dumped down on the block, or underneath the bucket. We have to hoist one. Tatum, and the 3 is there, just beating the shot clock.
They didn't panic. Idaho's a veteran team. They're not going to panic. And a nice shot to finish right there, and a 3 to boot.
Doesn't shoot it often, but he's 6 of 10 now from beyond the arc this season. And a turnover, as Souza had a tough time with that pass from Johnson on the baseline.
Yeah, Souza got really deep position, and Johnson didn't throw it to him where he was. Threw him a bad pass, tough to catch. Great deep position. He's in the lane. He throws it out of the lane. He can't catch it. That's not Souza's fault. It's his turnover, not his fault.
4 turnovers now for the Bulldogs, but they have a 7-point lead. Only loss this season at home was their last game, 83-73 to New Mexico State. They only shot 35% in that one. Underneath, Madison, scoop shot. What a move underneath the bucket.
Up under on one side of the user room and then came back to the original side. That's big time. You can see when Louisiana Tech doesn't score, they can't press. And when they don't press, Idaho brings it up very easily and can make the play they want to make offensively. 5
points for Madison. Gibson well off the mark on the 3. Geiger the rebound. Vandals trying to ease back into this one. Here's Geiger. Barone left alone. He can stick that one. You talked about it in the shoot-around. You can't leave him alone.
He's a great 17-foot shooter.
And Appleby with the answer.
When they score, they can set up the press. When they don't score, it's all part of the puzzle. Their defense is not as effective because they can't do what they want to do, and that's pressure the ball.
10 points for the freshman on the other end. Geiger in and out of there. And Gibson another rebound. The tempo moving back into Louisiana Tech's favor now. Now they'll set their offense.
Of course, when the other team misses, Louisiana Tech can get and go in transition. Idaho did a good job of getting back in transition that time.
McNeil, baseline, reverse, count it as he beats Geiger to the rim.
That was pretty special. Keon McNeil with a great move. Once again, what did Coach Verlin tell us? We have trouble guarding the ball on the dribble. And that's exactly where they got burned there.
Said our zone has got to be good. And their offense hasn't been as good as it's been in the past either. And there's a drive and a foul as Tatum will have an opportunity. Souza picking up the personal foul. That's his first. And 16 fouls now on Louisiana Tech. You see the wrap around Michael White's right wrist there. That happened in the Louisiana Monroe non-conference game, a win for the Bulldogs 73-71. Got a little bit demonstrative, and coaches have a tendency to do that. In a blackboard talk, we understand?
The board just got in the way of us making a point. It's just that simple. And when I talked to one of the assistants, he said, you know, Nate, I didn't even see it happen, so it was no big deal. But Coach White told me as soon as he did it, he knew something wasn't right. And it was a fracture or multiple fractures, but he'll be fine. Might hurt his pitching weight game come springtime when recruiting's over. But
well, they said it was pins, and then they had to put screws in there.
Yeah,
is that right?
Take the pins out and put in screws. So he hit pretty hard.
He coaches with such an enthusiasm, though. It's been infectious. Here's a jumper from Johnson. Not that time. Kenneth Smith the rebound, and Speedy can't get it. Tip is good, though. And they are just outworking the Vandals down low. Gibson credit for that one.
Yeah, Gibson's all over the offensive boards, and that's just stick-to-itiveness. You just got to want to go get it worse than somebody sealing you out.
In the corner, Borton off the mark on the 3. Gibson another rebound. He's just cleaning the glass right now. Appleby almost turned it over. Gibson for 3 on the money.
The redshirt junior's having a heck of a basketball game. You got to love a kid that gets hurt, had to sit out the whole year, and comes back very effectively.
9 points. They've outscored Idaho now 20-8 in the paint as well. Up by 10, their biggest lead.
Gibson's a big part of that. And he's all over the boards and he's hitting threes. Just one guy to light up a team with this kind of enthusiasm. So far it's been Gibson and Appleby. I guess that's two guys, right?
Shot clock under 10. Barone has been a non-factor as well. Geiger, there's Barone underneath. Got it and finishes with the left hand.
Yeah, he's very good with either hand around the basket. They got to get him the ball more. That's one of the keys we talked about. Just get Barone the basketball.
His first points of the game, and on the other end, Louisiana Tech turns it over. Brandon Gibson, the junior from Marianna, Florida, has been a spark plug. Inside with his rebounding, outside with his three-point shooting. He has 12.
Is the best in life passing you by because you still don't have a big screen high-definition TV? How would you like a brand new extra-large state-of-the-art 50-inch plasma TV? Imagine watching your favorite shows and movies with spectacular high-definition quality picture and sound right in your own home. Tronics Country will make it happen for you. No matter what your credit history, with Tronics Country, you're approved. If you have an active checking account and can afford flexible low payments, we'll send you a brand new 50-inch high-definition TV. Guaranteed.
I never realized how much I was missing out by not having a high-definition TV. The quality of the picture is amazing.
It gets even better. With your paid order, Tronics Country will send you a free wireless laptop computer with software upgrade featuring 26 programs. Call now to receive your 50-inch plasma TV and laptop computer with software upgrade. No matter what your credit history, you are approved. Get the electronics you deserve.
Call Tronics Country today at 800-580-1605. That's 800-580-1605.
Welcome back to Ruston, Louisiana. 36-28 Bulldogs. They're up-tempo, frantic style. This is right in their wheelhouse, the type of game they want to play, and they're getting some easy buckets. Coming up, you want to stay with us at halftime. We're going to take a look at the new additions in the Western Athletic Conference in basketball. Some familiar faces you'll want to learn about. Nate's Nuggets as well, something I always look forward to. And first half stats, and the numbers are going to be heavily in the Bulldogs' favor. There's that pressure defense again. Let's see how the Vandals handle it. They've had some struggles.
Different kind of press. Now it's man-to-man. They're going to trap.
Tatum into Borton's hands. They beat that pretty easily.
They worked on that a lot in practice.
Geiger with the drive, but he can't get the finish. Tip won't go either, as Cameron and Barone were in there.
So Cameron Barone, but 5 white jerseys to battle them. They send everybody to the glass and then get out in transition. That's really hard to do.
Speedy Smith. J.L. Lewis from the outside, and he knocks down the three. Now that's a surprise. He's 3 for 3 out there. He doesn't shoot it off, and the big man effective.
Little pick and pop, and Barone just couldn't get out to guard him, and Lewis got the shot.
Now a foul on Cordarius Johnson, and that will be team foul number 7. So they'll go to the other end for the 1-on-1 here.
You watch Lewis just go out there, and Barone didn't think he was going to shoot it. The scouting report probably told him he's only taken 3 all year, but he just took the 4th and made it.
Great first half for Michael White's bunch. Johnson, though, a silly foul on the other end, giving Tatum an opportunity here.
So you're telling me since Louisiana Tech has played well, the blackboard is safe for Coach White at halftime?
I'm thinking it's probably safe.
I think he learned his lesson. You make your point without breaking your hands.
Tatum has really picked up the slack. A lot of the stars have not stepped up. He has played well, cashing in on both free throws. Mike McChristian, the junior college transfer, will come in now. Borton will take a seat. 2 minutes to go, first half. A little token pressure here from the Vandals.
Yep, they're going to just see if one of these freshmen is going to turn it over. They're not going to trap them or anything, and they go, it's a 1-2-2 full court back to a 1-2-2 quarter court.
Smith, who was recruited by USF, chose to come to Louisiana Tech. They found him through YouTube, we understand from the head coach.
Yeah, that's a great story.
Welcome to 2011, huh?
Exactly. You know, people send YouTube clips to players all the time, and they don't really watch them, but he was close.
Did they get the shot off? They did. The dunk will count for Johnson, just beating the shot clock on that one.
Talk about athletes.
Tatum. Geiger's been quiet. Good pass by Tatum underneath McChristian to lay in. And a timeout called here by the Bulldogs.
Great move by McChristian to move when somebody like Tatum is driving to the basket, and then he found him for an easy layup.
A lot of athletes. One of those is Cordarius Johnson.
I remember last year we talked about what a great football player he is. That's a pretty good basketball move, if you ask me. Look at this.
Oh, it's close.
Very, very, very close.
It's the clock you look at first.
Yep.
But they did not review it. And a guy that is a part-time starter, it's nice to have a little bit of experience to go with all this youthful talent. They have a nice mix here.
Well, you need bodies that can contribute off the bench because of the style that they play. You just can't have somebody come in and just eat up minutes. He's got to be productive in those minutes because they're not going to stop pressing. I mean, that's the way Coach White coaches in his first year as a head coach, and that's the way he's going to continue to coach. Cordarius Johnson didn't play that way last year, but he's obviously picked it up this year.
49% shooting for the Bulldogs thus far in the first half. Here's Souza against Vandemel. Good ball movement.
Making that zone go side to side, that's what you want to do.
Entry to Souza. Vandemel picking up the foul from behind. And that is number 3 on the big man. And that's a concern for Don Berlin as Madison will check in.
Well, he took him out earlier with 2 and then put him back in with less than a minute, and he got his third. That's tough. Souza is a tough guy inside to cover. But if you're the shot blocker that Vandemel is, just play behind him, and you can block it. He tried to go over the top, and it was an obvious foul.
Appleby thought about the 3. Knifes inside instead. 34 seconds to go. Here's Gibson. The runner is good. He is really playing a complete game. 14 for Brandon Gibson.
You know, Coach Verlin's going to talk about the fact, guys, we can't give up layups against the zone. They're dribbling through the zone.
And there's a turnover. A bad pass by Tatum over Barone's head. And that's not easy to do. He's 6'11".
One time Smith's going to slow down because the shot clock is off and it's down to 10.
Great first half for the home team. Smith on the drive. Speedy tries to feed it underneath. They turn it over. Vandals have an opportunity with 3. Tatum all the way, and he's fouled.
A very smart play by Tatum. Just go to the rack. If you score fine, he's going to get 2 at the line, but just attack the basket plenty of time. Watch this. Big body's in there with Gibson. He tries to avoid him. It gets him at the body. And, of course, Appleby's right there as well. It's an obvious foul. It's a smart play.
It's Gibson's second, and if it weren't for Tatum, Idaho would be in a lot of trouble right now. 11 points, as it's 6 of 8 from the foul line. No one else in double figures for Idaho, and it's amazing to think that Barone has just 4 points. Geiger has 2, and you know, this guy really, I wouldn't say it's a close game, but he's keeping him at least within 10 here in the first half. Not a guy you count on for scoring very often.
No, but he's doing his thing, and this is a big one. You get it to single digits, and the thing you don't want to have happen here, if you're Louisiana Tech, and the thing you do want to have happen if you're Idaho is, you know, he's taking everybody out. No, that's a good move. I thought he was going to put somebody, get an offensive tip. They're just afraid that Louisiana Tech's going to come flying down the floor. They're going to give up the rebound if he misses.
So 4 black jerseys back with 1.6 seconds. Free throw makes it a 9-point game. And Mansa Habib will be one of those coming in from the Christian.
Just going to throw it to half court and hope for a foul, I believe, if they don't get it to Smith.
Can Speedy Smith get the ball? No, it's a pass towards Souza, deflected, and that'll be the end of the first half. Great half for the Bulldogs. They shoot 50%. They get 11 points off turnovers, and their defense really set the tone.
And they scored 43 points in the first half and turned over their opponent, and most importantly, as we showed in the graphic, got points off those turnovers. One thing to get the turnover, second thing to score out of it, and that man right there had a phenomenal first half, 14-8.
Well on his way to a double-double, 10 points as well for Appleby, and the up-tempo, frantic style of Louisiana Tech has been the story here in Ruston. 43-34 at the break. Louisiana Tech looking to win their 7th on the home floor. Looking pretty good in conference play against the visitors from Moscow.
Electronics Country says you're approved, guaranteed.
I wanted a new computer, but I couldn't get financed.
If you have an active checking account and can afford low, flexible payments, you're already approved, guaranteed. There's no credit check, so you won't be turned down.
Electronics Country approved me quickly.
I got instant approval, and it was easy.
And with your paid order, we'll add a free color printer, free MP3 music player, and free LCD TV. Call now and tell us where you want your brand new computer and free gifts shipped today.
This is where I learn, where I explore. It's my home, my laboratory, my community. It's where people care about me, challenge me, and are committed to helping me succeed. This is where I'm learning to lead. This is where I belong. This is my university.
An exciting first half, especially for Louisiana Tech fans. Michael White's up-tempo offense and defense, the story, and they lead by 9 at the break. Speaking of exciting basketball, we have some new members joining the WAC next season, Nate, and I know a lot of fans in Texas excited about the additions of some of these schools, and of course you have a Western region influence as well. Some names that are familiar to a lot of college basketball fans, and you know, when you look at like Seattle, for instance, one of the members, Cameron Dollar, the former UCLA point guard running the show there. At Denver, Joe Scott, the former Air Force and Princeton coach. And also at Texas San Antonio, Brooks Thompson, the former Oklahoma State guard. So they're excited to come into the league.
And we talked to Coach Berlin about it, and his was a very legitimate concern. He said, Nate, it's going to make travel a lot easier. Travel partners in this league, because from now it's Hawaii all the way to here at Louisiana Tech, makes it really difficult not only to get there, but then to turn around to play that second game of the weekend, the Thursday, Saturday. So it's going to make it much easier. You're going to have a distinct travel partner. And he also told me at this level in the WAC, it's tough to schedule games.
Right.
He said, Nate, I'm done with my scheduling because now we're going to have many more conference games. We're going to have 18 conference games. It's going to be easier, and you don't have to fill it in with those other games. So it's a win-win for everybody in the league, especially the teams coming in, as well as the ones that are already in it.
Well, people that know college basketball history know Seattle and the Elgin Baylor influence. Now, you got to go way back. Some of these kids may not know who Elgin Baylor is, but you've got a city school there in Seattle, Denver, and that brings more exposure to this conference.
There's no question about it, and it makes the imprint of the conference a little more westerly. Louisiana Tech maybe isn't happy about that, but and I'm from South Carolina. I didn't understand the geography. Texas isn't that far from here.
No, it's not.
So it's not that big a deal to travel there, and it makes for rivalries and, more important for everybody, for recruiting, because you're seen in those areas.
Now, it's an exciting brand of basketball right here in Ruston. Michael White has a team that a lot of people are going to look forward to seeing in the coming years. Right now, a 43-34 lead at the break. Raheem Appleby, the sensational freshman, has been good, and the veteran Brandon Gibson playing well also. The kids enjoying it here in Ruston.
Do you owe more than $10,000 to the IRS or state in back taxes? Hi, I'm Max with Blue Tax. Due to the current economy, the IRS and state tax agencies are being more lenient, but this won't last long. Here's how it works. Let's say you owe $20,000. With Blue Tax, this is what your settlement could look like. Great, right? There are many relief programs that taxpayers just don't know about, and you could wind up paying way less than you owe. Our team of attorneys and enrolled agents can negotiate settlements, lift bank levies, remove wage garnishments, eliminate penalties and interest, and reduce back payroll taxes. And at Blue Tax, we mean business. Those are my tax attorneys, and they don't mess around. They'll call the IRS or state on your behalf and negotiate your settlement for you. It's that easy. So call us right now for a free consultation at 800-691-7146 or visit www.bluetax.com. And remember, you heard it from me, Max, at Blue Tax. 800-691-7146.
Boys and Girls Club, these kids are awesome. We want to show them that they're awesome. We brought them out here tonight. The Greek system fed them a little bit of food. Our teams gave them a little locker room tour. Going to have a little shoot around on the floor. Once again, just showing these kids how awesome they are. Boys and Girls Club of Ruston and our Greek system. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate all you guys do. We appreciate you guys coming out and supporting Bulldog basketball and Lady Texture basketball. Our next Greek night will be the Pack the House night, which is February 4th. Are we ready for our game? All right, we have our shoe contest game. We wanted all the kids tonight to be able to participate. So all these kids are barefooted out there along with what we're doing is our shoes are in a pile, mixed up. All these kids and the Greeks are going to race to the other end of the floor, touch the baseline, run back, touch this baseline, put their shoes on, their own shoes, both shoes, and they're going to end up over here to my right near the visiting team bench. The first girl winner and the first boy winner will win a prize from the Boys and Girls Club. It's going to be pure chaos, and I love it. All right.
Halftime in Ruston. Louisiana Tech an impressive first half on both ends of the floor, and they lead 43-34, shooting 50% from the field. Well, nobody knows the pulse of college basketball like this guy right here, Nate Ross, and we're going to get a up-close look at Nate's nuggets. He has a sense for what's important out there, the people we really need to focus on at this juncture of the season. We're not mid-season yet, but you're in mid-season form.
Well, people tell me, my friends tell me, you're nuts. You watch too much basketball. But when you watch basketball, you see certain things that certain coaches want. And when you need, or more importantly, when you want a bucket in a stretch, down the stretch in a basketball game, there's certain players you want to look to, and that's what we're going to show you.
And with that, we give you Nate's nuggets. Here they are.
Well, first, if you need a hoop in transition, you got to go to Kendall Marshall. He leads the NCAA in assists and an assist-to-turnover ratio. He will throw it to the right person. He will not turn the basketball over. If you need a late game three, John Jenkins has been a phenomenal scorer for Vanderbilt and continues to be. When they get Festus Ezeli back healthy, he's going to be even better because it's going to go inside out. He will get you to game three, or the late game three. The power dunk, and New Mexico State saw it. Jim Vandemel had some phenomenal ones. Unfortunately, he is in a little foul trouble tonight, but if he gets it inside, he's going to give you the power dunk at the end of the game and maybe a foul. If you need a rebound to win the game, Thomas Robinson is a phenomenal rebounder. More importantly, he played behind the Morris twins last year and didn't play a lot. He's playing a lot for Coach Self, and he can get you that key rebound down the stretch to win. And most important, if you need a bucket in traffic, the All-American before he ever played a game, Harrison Barnes, is living up to the hype. He's a 6'8" athlete. He can get it in traffic. He can make the three. And he's playing on a pretty good team in North Carolina as well for Coach Roy Williams. Those are the guys that I think can make the bucket when you need it down the stretch in a very crucial game.
We might have to add a freshman nugget to that group, Raheem Appleby, somewhere later in the year. This kid is energetic. He's got quite a hop to his step.
Well, he's very unconventional in that he just doesn't take a pull-up jump shot. He does all the things that you see in a playground kind of game, but he does it very effectively, and he surprised me with how good he is anticipating on defense as well. He's going to be special in the West.
A young Louisiana Tech team, 7 newcomers, but a 9-point lead for the Bulldogs, 43-34. We'll take a look at highlights when we come back here in Ruston, Louisiana.
If you've been threatened with foreclosure, denied for a loan modification, missed a payment on your mortgage, been a victim of a predatory loan, you're upside down on your mortgage, or you lost your job and you're worried about losing your home, call Allied State Foreclosure Services now. With one simple phone call, you can stop the foreclosure process, lower your monthly mortgage payments, and save your home. Allied State Foreclosure Services works with licensed attorneys in your area. Let us work to help keep your home and way of life by picking up the phone and dialing the number on your screen.
Welcome to Louisiana Tech University, on the cutting edge of research, education, innovation, with a rich tradition in intercollegiate athletics, arts and entertainment, campus life. Experience it for yourself. This is Louisiana Tech University. Visit us online at www.latech.edu.
Halftime at the Thomas Assembly Center, a 9-point lead for the Bulldogs, running their way to this advantage here on the home floor. Let's take a look at this first half and talk about this team, this up-tempo style, and why it works for Louisiana Tech. It's not just about their offense, it's about defense setting up those points.
Well, it's both ends, and they've done an exceptional job in that when you play 11 people, you don't know who's going to step up, but you got a lot to pick from. And they've had some people who haven't stepped up this year that are doing it tonight. And they're really turning the other team over, and they're scoring in that transition.
Let's take a look at those highlights, and it's a frantic pace that the Bulldogs play.
Well, and if it's not for Tatum, Idaho would be in big trouble tonight. He is keeping them in this basketball game with threes, and he drove it inside. We saw at the end of the half as well. At the other end, it's been the Appleby show. He's done a great job by stealing the ball and then finishing in transition. And a nice little spin move here. And that's the unconventional part. You don't know where he's going to shoot it from. And this young man, Gibson, is averaging 6 points and 3 rebounds a game. He's got 14 and 8 only in the first half. So that's what I'm talking about. Coach White's got a lot of bodies to choose from when he plays 11 people. And he's picking people that are going to go and play well in the second half so far. Gibson's had a great first half.
Looking for their first WAC win. They've only lost 1 game on this floor. That was to New Mexico State, trying to even their record and move to 9-8 on the season. 9-point lead here in Ruston.
Endless pools are an incredible alternative to traditional pools, making it easy and inexpensive to swim at home. Call our toll-free number or visit our website. A free idea kit and DVD will be sent to your home so you can discover all the benefits of owning your own pool. Compared to traditional pools, endless pools are simple to install, easy to maintain, and economical to run. Our precision-engineered pools enable you to swim or exercise against a smooth current that adjusts to any speed and ability. Endless pools are perfect for year-round health and fitness, relaxation, and family fun. Our free idea kit and DVD will show you how easy it is for the whole family to enjoy a pool right in your backyard or home. An endless pool or an endless pool swim spa can become a showplace for your home. Call our toll-free number or visit the website to find out more about endless pools. The free idea kit will show you just how easy it is to be able to swim at home.
Dogs are national champions.
This is good.
Brandon Gibson leading the way for Louisiana Tech. His mom here from Marianna, Florida, in the Panhandle part of the state, giving out some love to the Bulldogs and to ESPN. And she has to be impressed with what her son has done. 14 points and 8 boards to lead the way. Here's a look at the first half numbers.
Well, the great Coach John Wooden looked at one stat only, and that was field goal percentage. You can see, even I can figure out that Louisiana Tech is shooting 50%. That's not a bad thing ever. And the turnovers, Idaho had 9 when we talked about early in the game. They only have 10 now, 7 there, and then points in the paint are huge for Louisiana Tech, and that's Gibson basically.
And this is the Louisiana Tech team that has struggled from the outside, shooting just 30% from 3. They're 5 of 11 from beyond the arc. It's a big bonus. They may not expect that here in the second half, but their defense has been there throughout.
Well, Coach White told us, we get a lot of open shots, Nate. We just haven't hit them yet. We're going to make them. So far in the first half, he's been pretty prophetic.
We talked about the hand. You see the wrap there. You can coach, though, with a wrap on a hand.
Absolutely.
He's been very effective. You might want to stick with that. It's been good for him today.
After it heals, just keep it wrapped for good. You know, Coach is very superstitious. Keep it wrapped.
A guy that was an assistant for 7 seasons, coached the guards at Ole Miss prior to coming here, and they have been very good traditionally in this building, continuing that tradition here this season. And there's a turnover on the baseline by Appleby.
Pretty good guard himself. Brown's got to take that shot.
Madison left alone, knocks it down. And a good move there by Barone, spotting the man open right behind him.
Well, that's the unselfishness of this basketball team. He is a very good scorer, but he's being the facilitator right now. He can run the offense from the high post. That's a good as a passer he is.
Can be guarded by Habib. He gets the defensive assignment at the outset here in the second half. One of their better defenders off the bench. And Gibson throws it away. The lob to Souza off the mark, and that had some mustard on it.
It's a really, really difficult angle to throw it across the court diagonally to Souza with the defender there. Just a tough pass. You got to dribble across and make an easier entry pass.
We back off of the pressure a little bit here. Minute into the second half. Louisiana Tech in Idaho. Barone travels on the baseline.
And he's so good with his left hand, I thought that's what he was going to do, but he did travel. but they're going inside to him. I don't care if he turns over the first 4 times. You got to keep going inside the Barone.
They've really held him in check. What has it been? Has it been the style of play that has kept him from having a big game thus far?
Well, they've not walked it up and thrown it inside because of the pressure. They've turned it over, and they're getting into this Louisiana Tech transition game.
Gibson for 3 again. He continues to shoot it well. 17 points now, 3 of 6 from long distance.
Let's sign up, Mom. I'm watching across the court. You're doing good.
That inspires a lot of kids when family or friends are in attendance.
Absolutely.
Here's Madison. Drives the paint. Tries to pass. McNeil the steal. Speedy Smith. Good pass in transition to Souza. The big man run the court.
He was so smart. Smith slowed down and waited for Souza to get up the floor and then found him. He knew what he was going to do. He just didn't have anybody to get it to. And then he did. What a smart play. Watch them when they give the ball to Speedy Smith here. He slows down. You can see Souza going by. He knew he was going. Great bounce pass. The reason bounce passes are so effective, it's very simple. A human being is basically lazy. They're not going to bend over to get it. He gets it to him. Good job by the big man, Souza, to get down the floor. And you know Smith's going to get you the ball.
Don Verlin calling a timeout. Louisiana Tech continues that up-tempo style, and they've been effective in transition. 48-37 Bulldogs.
If you're one of the millions of Americans without dental insurance, ask yourself these 3 important questions. 1, does your company not offer dental insurance? 2, are you self-employed? 3, are you retired? If you answered yes to any of these, it's important that you call Encore Dental today. Encore Dental is real insurance, and your acceptance is guaranteed. You'll receive up to 100% coverage for preventive care and up to 50% on basic and major procedures. Encore Dental can help keep your teeth healthy, which may prevent infections that lead to heart disease and stroke. And with the high cost of procedures, it makes sense to have great coverage. Choose your level of benefits. There are no claim forms to fill out and no waiting for reimbursement. So go ahead, review it for 30 days.
Call 1-800-714-9094. Call now and save an additional 10%.
Call now and save an additional 10%.
Bulldogs lead it by 11 points, almost 2 minutes in here, second half. Now, my partner here is going to have to explain himself. This is not the Cape Crusader. You're going to have to let the audience know why you're wearing those things right now. You're not playing racquetball, are you?
This is play-by-play man. I am dribble man. These are called dribble goggles. Louisiana Tech uses them because obviously I can't see my hands right now. When you dribble a basketball, you're not supposed to look down. Every player on the team has them. I said, I got to have these.
Beautiful.
They dribble the basketball. You can't look down because you can't see anything if you do it. It's amazing to watch the kids do this. It's a great way to learn to dribble the basketball without looking because you can't cheat.
Well, what a great thing for a first-year coach, though, to grab the attention of some of his younger guys, those 7 newcomers. And he's done a lot of, I guess you would say, abnormal, different things. And each coach has their own style. Of course, you having coached the college game, you don't know what buttons you need to push sometimes to get these kids inspired.
I just wish I would have invented those things. What a great move. No, but he does different things with great enthusiasm, and you have to do that if you're going to play this kind of style. If you're going to play a 2-3 zone and never press, you don't have to do that kind of stuff. But it's all part of the puzzle of the way they're going to play a basketball game.
Shot in and out of there. And tracked down by Cordarius Johnson. Trying to add to their double-digit lead here. Louisiana Tech led by 9 at the break.
going to get that fourth on Vandals.
Souza, the re-entry from Smith, and he throws up an air ball on the hook shot.
Good idea with the repost. He just didn't get an angle to bank the ball.
Here's Habib, who was a star defensively in the winner against Fresno State. There's a steal. Here's Appleby the other way. Lightning quick down the court, and he draws contact, and the foul on Barone. And between Speedy Smith and Appleby, you're not going to find guys much faster from one end to the other.
Appleby impresses me. He's got a second gear. Watch him initiate the contact. He jumped into Barone, but Barone fouled him, and then he got it up at the left hand and tried to get an and one out of it. He's going to get two.
It's two on Barone.
He must have been ridiculously good in high school. I mean, to have those kind of moves and be that quick and that athletic.
Returns for the Vandals.
One thing that Coach White told us is what these kids are learning, and speaking about his young people, it's not a 4 8-minute quarter game anymore. It's 40 minutes. And they're learning to play that hard for that long. And Appleby and the other freshman, Smith and the other guys on the floor are learning that, and it's paying dividends.
Does it now for the Frosh, who they listed 6'2", 160. He's more like what? They told him 138?
Yeah, he's 160 with 4 really wet sweatshirts on. That's the only way he gets to 160.
Geiger for three, and the Vandals really needed that. This is a guy that shoots 45% from beyond the arc, and he finally knocks one down.
They've got to do that. That's a great equalizer, the three-point line. They can't rely on it, but if it's there, they got to take it, and they're making it.
This is our first three-pointer, now has 5 points. Wrote a couple free throws. Johnson against Barone. Missed that speed-wise there, and a foul called on Louisiana Tech.
Darius Johnson tried to go with that left hand, just couldn't make a finish. And then a foul on the offensive board. Coach White has caught the picture. Even with this lead, he is not letting his foot off the gas. Obviously only a 10-point lead with a lot of time left. But that's the way he coaches. That's the way they play.
They stay with that pressure. There's Barone to dribble here, and he gets it in the hands of McChristian.
And they have switched it up enough, Trey, for a man-to-man press, and that time it was a 2-2-1 zone press back to a 3-2 zone. So they're just changing the look. It's still pressure, but it's a different kind of pressure.
Good inside out to McChristian. He knocks it down. They did a good job of the entry to Barone and then the kick out that time.
The one thing Barone does maybe better than anything else is he's a really good passer, and he knows where everybody is on the court, and he showed it right there.
Trailing by just 8, despite being dominated in that first half. Here's Appleby on the move, little runner. He's good at that one, can't get that to fall.
Great seal out by Tatum.
Geiger, great catch by Vandemel, and then he loses the handle. Barone, though, cleans it up and gets the bucket, and he's been more active now in the second half.
Well, he probably had a little confidence hurting a little bit in the first half, and now they're back in it, and he's back in it.
6 points, 6 rebounds.
2-possession game.
Speedy Smith picked up by Geiger. High screen set by Souza. Here's Appleby. 10 on the shot clock. Johnson for 3. Fouled on the 3. Shot won't go, but Vandemel picks up his 4th costly foul on the right wing.
That's tough for one of the big guys to come way out for Darius Johnson, and he popped him for 3 free throws.
Don Verlin scratching his head. His team has battled back, but a costly foul right there on his big man. 15-10 to go.
John Mapes is 42. Mortgage, married, 2 great kids. He wants to protect his family with a $500,000 term life insurance policy. What do you think it'll cost him? $100 a month? 60? 40? Actually, none of the above. John can get a $500,000 policy from a highly rated insurer for under $25 a month. His secret? SelectQuote. SelectQuote is impartial. They'll search the pick of insurers like these to give you a choice of your best prices. SelectQuote has great savings on term life for women, too. John's wife, Carrie, can get a $500,000 policy for under $16 a month. SelectQuote has helped make term life insurance affordable for hundreds of thousands of people since 1985. How about you? Just call this number or visit SelectQuote.com.
Off of Nate Ross's lead, Dwayne, our camera guy here, getting in on the fun. The goggle thing is starting to catch on here, Nate.
It's a trend. You know, I started with the bald head. Now it's a trend. Trust me, he's not going to get good shots right now because he can't see what he's doing.
6-point game. Vandals a battle back here.
Well, you can see, watch this. Every time the ball started in the paint, it started in there, kicked out for a 3. It kicked from the inside, out for another 3. And on the last one, Barone gets it and scores inside. When you can shoot a 3 from the ball coming inside out, you're stepping into it, it's a much easier shot, it's a higher percentage, and that's what I'm sure Coach Verlin talked about. Get in the paint now. Without Bandamel in the game, it's got to go to Barone because he's the only big guy in there. There's another player, but not their really athletic Bandamel in the game.
Johnson shooting 3 free throws, makes the first one after he was fouled by Bandamel on that three-pointer. One more coming for the sophomore who has really struggled with the line coming into this game, 13 of 27, but he's been a part-time starter this year, averaging almost 10 points per game, and he gets all 3 free throws. That really can hurt the momentum. The Vandals had it going in their favor.
Great shot of Coach White. You saw his eyes. I mean, just constantly moving, constantly looking. I'm sure he's had this dream to be a head coach when he was an assistant in Mississippi. Now he's got it, and he's doing pretty well.
Another one of those former point guards who's become a head coach. 2 SEC West titles as a player at Ole Miss.
They're playing minimum, and they're getting after him.
Hammerer hands it off to Geiger. 5 on the shot clock. Tries to dribble into traffic. Smith got a hand on that, and here's the steal. Johnson the other way. Johnson for 3. Battle underneath. Souza can't control it into the hands of Barone.
It's a tough cover because Barone had to go all the way out to cover Johnson. He's not used to doing that.
Geiger for 3. That's a big one for the Vandals. Draws him back within 6, and now Geiger's starting to find the range. Couple threes now. He's important to their offense.
He's very important. Keon McNeil was just a little late getting there. Got to know who shooters are. When you're playing man or zone, you got to get out there and make them a driver.
45 made threes for Geiger this season. Appleby thought about it. Leaning in. Tough shot. Barone the rebound.
Great rebound in traffic.
Tatum. Tripped up. He was well on his way to the bucket for a lay-in and tripped up that time by McNeil.
Number 4, Kendrick Smith for the Bulldogs.
You just attack the rim. Nobody stops the ball. You got to stop the ball, and then they had to foul him. We talked about Idaho and the Keys running with a purpose. That's an opportunity fast break. They didn't get anything out of it. They'll keep possession of the ball, of course, and they can run that same play to get the layup for Barone. They might do that here. But they've kept the ball out of Barone's hands with really intense defense. We'll see if they can continue to do that.
2 on McNeil, 2 team fouls. Almost a steal for Speedy that time. Geiger for 3. That's 3 of them. You've got to respect his range. The senior feeling it right now.
Jeremy Geiger knows that his team needs a spark. He is that spark.
Appleby trying to answer, poke from behind out of bounds. It will stay with the Bulldogs.
A split second ago, this was a 10-point basketball game. It is now a 3-point basketball game.
This guy's gotten back into it. Geiger has been big. Here's Appleby trying to flush it, and that was deflected away. Geiger 3 of 4 now from the 3-point line, and they're within a 3 square of this thing.
And Coach White's not going to play zone because of the 3 proficiency that they scored against man. It's going to be an interesting possession.
See if they look to the hot hand again. Barone has been effective as well with Christian, and he's fouled by Smith. Smith is so active that time a little bit too much. His second foul. It's 3 team fouls now.
Yeah, only a couple, so no big deal. You got to get to 7, obviously, before you win the bonus. A lot of teams give you the pass on the wing. Louisiana Tech does not. They contest a great pass.
Tatum underneath Barone to finish, and the foul. It's going to go on Gibson. He picks up his 3rd. Great recognition from Tatum, and they can tie it up here.
Kyle Barone off the back screen, gets it, and is very patient inside. Waits for the defender. In that case, it was Gibson. With the shot fake, contact, and one. What a smart play.
All-conference candidate, a guy starting to realize his potential here in the second half, and he ties it up at 53. What a second half for the Vandals, who didn't start off well the first minute or so, but have responded now. Tatum will get a breather. Borton comes in.
I think Coach Verlin got a little...
animated?
That's the word I was looking for. I was going to say
that'd be one word. There could be others, though.
Animated's a good one. He knows he has a good basketball team. They didn't play that way. They let Louisiana Tech dictate what happens. So far in the second half, they have not let that happen.
Bulldogs in a bit of a funk now. Speedy Smith for three, and he gives them the lead back again.
He can give you a lot of things. When he gives you a point, that's just icing on the cake.
He has not shot it well from three. That's just 6 makes in 26 attempts, but a big one. They're going to give him 2. He was inside the arc, they're going to say on that one. No, it is a 3. Just outside. Here's Geiger trying to answer, and he does. And all of a sudden, Geiger is unstoppable from long distance, and we're tied again.
That was good defense, but it was a better shot fake and one dribble to get space from your defender and then make the shot for Jeremy Geiger. There's the pass, shot fake. Smith's all over him. He gets away to create space. Bingo.
He can do this against a lot of good competition. He had 27, a career high, in a win at Oregon State in the non-conference portion of the season.
Now this is where Louisiana Tech has trouble in the past in the half court in scoring.
And that's a bad shot right there by Gibson. And air ball. He wanted the deflection, not going to get it. And a Louisiana Tech turnover. 11:57 to go, and the tables have turned in this one. Barone got him started. Geiger heating up, and we're all even.
Is the best in life passing you by because you still don't have a big screen high-definition TV? How would you like a brand new extra-large state-of-the-art 50-inch plasma TV? Imagine watching your favorite shows and movies with spectacular high-definition quality picture and sound right in your own home. Tronics Country will make it happen for you. No matter what your credit history, with Tronics Country, you are approved. If you have an active checking account and can afford flexible low payments, we'll send you a brand new 50-inch high-definition TV. Guaranteed.
I never realized how much I was missing out by not having a high-definition TV. The quality of the picture is amazing.
It gets even better. With your paid order, Tronics Country will send you a free wireless laptop computer with software upgrade featuring 26 programs. Call now to receive your 50-inch plasma TV and laptop computer with software upgrade. No matter what your credit history, you are approved. Get the electronics you deserve.
Call Tronics Country today at 800-580-1605. That's 800-580-1605.
The Vandals trail by double digits early in the second half, but they battle back thanks to this guy, Jeremy Geiger, deadly from the outside.
Well, if you're Don Verlin, you know you have leadership. He's your senior, Geiger. Barona's your junior. They give you a lot of points, and I believe that's called a Geiger counter.
There you go.
He was lighting it up, and then Barone got a little hot as well. If they can get both of those guys going, that's a pretty good duo. It's not as good as the play-by-play and the dribble man, but it's not bad.
Well, 14 points for Geiger, and 9 points, 9 boards now for Barone. And Geiger's going to stay on the floor here, and it'd be a tough to get him off the floor. Look at how they have responded here. to that halftime speech or whatever it was.
Well, that's the leadership you want. I'm sure he looked at both of them and said, guys, you need some leadership out of you. Seniors and juniors are supposed to do that, and so far they have done that to get him back in this basketball game. We're just where we started, tied up.
Under 12 minutes to go. Tech looking for their first win at the Thomas Assembly Center in Ruston, Louisiana. Idaho and Louisiana Tech. Vandals have a win over Fresno State. Tech looking for their first win after a loss to New Mexico State. Contrasting styles here.
You gotta know what Geiger is because they're in a zone right now.
Madison can't get the three to go.
Surprised they didn't try to go inside the balloon because he's been hot.
McNeil on the drive, draws contact, can't get the bucket to go. And that's the thing about the Bulldogs is they are able to attack the goals with speed. Kammerer, the sophomore, picking up the foul.
Well, in transition, the number one thing you learn when you're 8 years old playing basketball, stop the basketball. They didn't do that time, and Keon McNeil did a smart thing and tried to bank it to get a three-point play out of it. He's going to go to the line for a couple.
Quiet night tonight for the two-year starter at point guard. Sophomore from Conway, Arkansas. He was the #1 rated guard in Arkansas coming out of high school, recruited by Kerry Rupp, who's now at the University of Hawaii. And they're 10 for 10 now from the foul line. That's been a big story here. Geiger's going to sit down now, get a breather at the 11:20 mark.
People underestimate all the time the value of making free throws. In close games, it always comes out because it's what happens at the end. But when you don't miss the whole game, those are points that you don't think about, but are very, very valuable.
And they're last in the WAC at shooting just 60% from the line. 2-point lead now.
Well, that's youth, though. You're going to have great games and you're going to have bad ones. But they hopefully are turning that trend around for them.
Connor Hill, the true freshman, on the floor now with Tatum, with Geiger on the bench. Madison with the move to the bucket and count it. The foul as well. And that's going to be on J.L. Lewis.
All night long, when the ball went to the high post, it was passed. Madison gets it and turns and drives. Does a great job to get past the defender. J.L. Lewis takes the contact and scores. It's just a little wrinkle in their offense. You and I talked about watching them practice. They run plays, but they also have like 3 options off the plays. Well, that was the second option, I would think.
And Madison does a little bit of everything well. He gives them the lead there after completing the 3-point play. Gibson, ball fake. Appleby left alone, and he gives the lead back. That is 8 of 16 from beyond the arc for the Bulldogs, and here's the pressure.
That's the zone press. They change it up.
Madison in the middle.
He had Verone and missed him, and he knows it.
See if they look for the big guy. Here he is at the foul line. Hill in the corner. 10 on the shot clock. Hill for 3, short. Borton a big rebound, and they're going to call for traveling. Carried the basketball after it was contested. Don Verlin didn't like the call.
I don't think he did. He never really had the ball. He never has possession. He's down. Well, yes, he did. Yep. Excuse me. Good call.
And again, being active with those hands, the Bulldogs are seemingly everywhere.
Mark Whitehead got it right.
Past the midway point here, second half. 1 possession game. Gibson, a long 3 straight away. In and out of there. Borton the rebound.
And the miss, they're in man. You can't get in that zone out of the miss.
Madison with the ball fake. He'll drive it inside amongst the trees. Not there. The follow is good for Barone. Again, continuing to stay active. He is now has 11 points and 9 boards.
Barone could be the real flashy guy, but he isn't. He's just so effective.
And he picks up a foul on the other end. Now that will be his second. Remember, Vandemel has 4. They're going to leave the big man out here as McChristian checks in for Borton.
If it was his third, you might take him out in a tie game and try to buy a few minutes, but it's only his second. He can go 1 more before he takes him out, I would think.
It's going to stay with Louisiana Tech. You got to think he keeps one shot blocker on the floor. Question is, when do you bring Vandals back in with 4?
Well, you can buy some time here, especially if the game stays within a possession.
Appleby pull up, short from 18. Gibson a rebound, and he muscles it back in there.
Gibson's hurt them inside, he's hurt them outside. He's playing a heck of a game.
And he has 17 points and 9 boards now.
And he's man-to-man. You can hear Coach White screaming 1-1-1.
Shot clock down to 10. Tatum. Hill with a long 3. Freshman badly off the mark on that one. Out of bounds. It's going the other way to the Bulldogs.
In watching Idaho play, because they call their plays with those cards as they come up the floor, it would be a great idea to change defenses as they come up the floor, because they're calling a play against a certain defense, and then you change it, and then they have to adjust. It's not a bad move. I don't know if that was planned, but by Coach White changing the defense that time, but it worked.
Jeremy Geiger gets the breather he needed. He's back out on the floor now as we approach the 8-minute mark. Vandals stays on the bench. Inside pass stolen away by McChristian. Poked from behind by Gibson, and a foul's going to be called on Idaho.
Number 12.
It's going to be on McChristian. That's his first, and that's team foul number 5 on the Vandals. Interesting game. I mean, the tempo clearly in Tech's favor first half, and we've seen Idaho battle back in, and now you could see a seesaw battle the rest of the way.
Not as frantic as it was earlier.
Gaskins for 3. How about this three-point shooting, Nate? They are red hot from long range.
Well, Coach told us we're getting open shots, we just haven't hit them yet, and he used the word yet. Well, yet doesn't apply tonight.
5-point game now.
Interesting, without Perone in the game, how are they going to get any points inside without Tim and Madison?
Tatum and Wiener won't go. Appleby with the rebound on the other end.
That's a Perone putback right there, but he wasn't in there.
Gibson wanted to shoot that one. Now he'll drive it, and a foul. It's going the other way. Offensive foul on Brandon Gibson. That is his 4th at the 7:28 mark. Louisiana Tech, 9 of 18 from beyond the arc. Gaskins, his 2nd of the game. They lead it by 5.
Hey, you. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Why are you still sitting on that couch? You know you could be out there cooking for a living. You speak food. That's why you got to call Le Cordon Bleu. They'll help get you out there with training in less time than you think. Sounds good, right? So grab your phone right now and call Le Cordon Bleu. They'll send you a complimentary career guide so you can see what it's really like to work in the culinary arts.
Call 1-800-980-1787 or text GO-LCB49 to 94576. Call or text now.
Did you call yet?
Louisiana Tech by 5 as we near the 7-minute mark. Attention golfers and club pros, online registration now open for the 2012 ESPN National Golf Challenge. Log on to ESPNGolf.com to sign up and find a participating course near you. The Bulldogs have done many things well. One of those, hitting the glass on the offensive end.
Well, you just got to put a body on that man right there, and he's doing an excellent job, Brandon Gibson, of getting to the glass, and then not only getting there, but making the other team pay when he gets there. That's 6 second chance points by one player. And it happens to be the junior, redshirt junior, Brandon Gibson.
Michael White getting a lot of contributions from his young guys and the veterans. Gibson, 19 and 10, 15 for Appleby, 10 for Cordarius Johnson, as Madison beats the pressure with the dribble.
That press changed from zone to man after the first dribble. That was fun to watch. Gibson pretty smart, or excuse me, Madison pretty smart and didn't turn it over.
Geiger almost slipped. Now he gets it on the block. Madison backing in over 2 players. Can't get it to fall. It's saved by McChristian. He'll reset things.
I'm watching Barone. He's always on the weak side to get a rebound. He's really smart where he goes.
Tatum, wild shot right there. Bad shot in traffic.
3 white jerseys, and he still put it up.
Appleby, look out. Some contact. He loses the handle. And he's limping as they come down to the other end. Appleby limping as Tatum drives in, gets the bucket, and the foul on Johnson.
Appleby turned something on his left side, whether knee or hip. But give the kid credit. He had gutted out and ran down the floor. And he's limping out. Watch Appleby on the, after he gets the shot, he kind of trips. Like he just bumped knees or twisted his ankle when he ran into somebody and lost the basketball.
So they will take a look at their star freshman, and hopefully that's not serious here with 6:37 to go.
That's the trainer, Brian Crow, checking him out, see if he's okay.
Tatum completes the 3-point play. Here it is.
Watch his left foot right there. You can see he kind of jammed his ankle as he ran into Gibson and then lost the basketball. And I'm looking over, all he's doing is tightening up the laces on his shoe. That's old school, baby.
2-point game. Tatum has played very well, leading the Vandals with 15 after that 3-point play. Johnson turns it over as Borton goes to the floor to grab it.
I love Borton diving for it.
Tatum, blocking foul is called. And that'll go against Gaskins. And they're in the bonus now. That's the 8th team foul. Gaskins picking up his 3rd.
A lot of people want the foul on Tatum because he pushed off the left arm. He did, but Gaskins was moving, and that's a defensive foul.
Number 10, Tatum on the line, shooting 1.
Shaking his head. Didn't like the call. Tatum now a chance to cash in. And he has been a huge story at the foul line tonight. That is 10 out of 12 now from the stripe for Tatum.
Well, it's just a testament to how he attacks the basket. We talked about how you got to stop the ball in transition. They don't run a lot, but when they do, he's the man with the basketball, and he's taking it to the rack and he's getting fouled.
17 to lead the way for Idaho, and we're tied again at the 6:19 mark.
No broadcaster jinx after you talked about his free throws. I'm impressed.
Oh, these teams are really playing well on the offensive end. I mean, 50% shooting for Idaho, 47% for Louisiana Tech.
And it's not because the defenses are playing hard. They're getting after it. They're just being efficient offensively.
Skip pass, McNeil inside Johnson. Malone could not get to it, and he banks it in.
Ball went from left corner to right corner to the lane. That's really hard defensively to get there, and Cordarius Johnson paid off with 2.
Here's Madison for the lead. Knocks it down, and the Vandals are back in front.
Yeah, you expected that. This has been a heck of a game. This is going to be a heck of a last 5 and change.
And Madison starting to heat up. One of their stars delivering. 5 of 10 from the field now. Look at that, 9 ties, 4 lead changes. A miss there. Borton gets it out in transition to Tatum. Madison thought about that one.
Borton's been a factor just with hustle plays down the stretch defensively. Had some knee issues, but he's fine now.
Geiger.
What a pass.
Wrap around to Barone for the finish.
Oh my goodness, what a great pass to Kyle Barone for the flush.
And with 5:05 to go, the Vandals have responded to another deficit. They have the lead after this beauty.
Look at this pass around Souza and Barone in the perfect place. Geiger saw him all the way. Oh, that's pretty.
10-2 run for Idaho. Back in front, 5 minutes to play. And Michael White wants a timeout. Double-double for Barone, and that's his 5th of the year.
We talked about the leadership. We talked about Geiger as a senior, Barone as a junior, and how good they played coming out of halftime to get the team back in it. Now, not only have they gotten them back in it, but that last play has given them the lead as well. You look to your upperclassmen for leadership, especially on the road in a tough environment, because it's a good crowd. It's not a great crowd. It's a good crowd. Plus, the way the other team's playing, they're getting after you. And the upperclassmen are coming through for Coach Verlin.
Nate, we talked about Don Verlin and the job he's done. Michael White showing he's a very good coach as well. 2 well-coached teams here as we look at the WAC standings. Nevada with Deontay Burton, maybe the WAC Player of the Year. New Mexico State has a lot of weapons. It'll be interesting to see where these 2 teams end up at the end of the year. Utah State down a little bit this season.
You would think they would move up in the rankings, but the 4 above them are pretty good. It's not like there's lousy teams above them. They're going to play well. Will they play well enough in the head-to-head competition to move up among the 4 above them?
Coming off the Bulldogs timeout. Gaskins cutting inside. McNeil driving to the rim, and he draws contact. And they're making it a point now to put it on the floor.
Number 10, Landon Tatum.
McNeil at one end. It's Gaskins at the other end, just attacking the basket, attacking the rim, and it's paying off.
Shooting foul. That was the 16th foul, first on Tatum. Couple free throws for Keon. Feel
bad for a kid that's a sophomore in a coaching change, because you came there under one regime, and after 1 year of basketball, it changes. New system, new coaches, that's not Coach White's guy, but he's really hanging in there playing well.
We're going to see Michael Kaiser for the first time. Shot blocking specialist comes into the game here, and they pressure full court. They beat it, and the pass to Bandamel on the money for the bucket.
He's been sitting for a long period of time. Give him credit, he sat there with the foul trouble, come in and just produced instantly. I want to see one of my dunks, though. You got to make me look good.
Here's McNeil for 3. Off the mark, and Barone skies for the rebound. They have some bounce in their step here with 4 minutes to go. Idaho, 4-point lead, trying to add to it.
Biggest problem is he's a better athlete than the think.
Vandamel checked by Kaiser. Couple shot blockers. Long, lean guys on the block. Here's Geiger inside. Dumps it underneath. Barone can't finish it.
He hurt himself, too. He hurt his left elbow somehow.
Bulldogs try to counter. Gaskins for 3 from the corner.
What about leadership? Here's the senior coming through.
That is 3 threes in 3 attempts for Gaskins, and they draw within 1. And Barone beating it with the dribble. The big man bringing the basketball up, and Don Verlin's going to call a timeout.
The new stars want to be an official partner.
4 in double figures for Idaho.
It's a great wraparound pass to Barone. Gaskins deep in the corner. Money.
This is a public announcement. CNNMoney.com reports that in some areas of the country, buyers are scooping up homes for as little as $1,000. Foreclosures are at an all-time high. Government and private banks are liquidating these homes now. If you currently rent a house or apartment, you may call now and learn how to receive your free list of these homes. All others may call tomorrow. Every house must be sold. This is a public announcement.
Call 1-800-590-6974. That's 1-800-590-6974.
Northern Louisiana Medical Center is committed to providing quality care to Ruston and the surrounding communities. Willis Knighton is proud to be the official sports medicine provider of Tech Athletics. Lincoln Builders is proud to be an official sponsor of Tech Athletics.
Idaho looking for their first ever win in this building, leading by a point here with 3:28 to go. Kyle Barone has really stepped up his game. All-conference candidate, the big man for Idaho. 13 points, 11 rebounds, and Geiger's been big as well. Madison has stepped it up now with 16, most of those in the second half.
And you can see under each team the amount of timeouts left by those yellow dashes. And not many fouls committed. Idaho in the bonus. Louisiana Tech is not.
Madison picked up by Kaiser. Very good shot blocker on the perimeter. Shot clock at 10. Geiger checked by McNeil. Drives baseline, reverses it, off the handle. Here's Appleby. Does not have numbers, and he backs it out. That's a play you don't see from a freshman normally.
And you don't see that from Louisiana Tech much, the way they want to play, but that was a smart play, you're right.
Gibson leaning in against Geiger, air ball.
He had McNeil on the kickback for a 3, too, and he missed him.
Under 3 minutes to go. They've leaned heavily on this guy, Madison, along with Barone. Here's Barone inside. Spin move. Throws it up for grabs. Loose ball now and a tie-up. And the possession arrow will stay with Idaho. And they're going to take a timeout here. 2:30 to go, 1-point game.
Kyle Barone's so good with his left hand. We saw it in practice, just hasn't used it there.
Well, the Orange keep doing it, Nate. They get it done, and they are a deep basketball team.
Well, and if Fab Melo continues to play like he's playing, he is a force to be reckoned with in the middle of that 2-3 zone, makes them even better, and it's tough to be better when you're ranked #1.
Other national notes, Kentucky, speaking of teams with long arms and the ability to block shots, there's one of them.
Amazing athletic talent. Coach Calipari brings in a new crew basically every year and gets them to play together. Kudos to him.
All right, 3 unbeatens. Who goes down first amongst that group? Who's going to lose a game? It'd be interesting.
Murray State's schedule is in their favor. I'm picking Baylor here. I don't think Syracuse, even though the Big East is very, very difficult.
I think Baylor's got a trip to Allen Fieldhouse on Monday, so that'll be tough.
Well, that's a little bias on your part.
But I think it's tough for anybody that goes in.
I agree.
Yep.
And Murray State has a schedule that favors them to run the table in the regular season in their league.
And then you want to take a look at big guys. We've seen some good ones here tonight that really could have an impact on this season. These guys really stand out for you.
Well, Fab Melo doesn't do it offensively, but he's such a force in the middle of that vaunted Syracuse 2-3 zone. Festus Ezeli has had injuries to both knees. He's coming back with Taylor on the outside shooting, and he playing inside Vanderbilt's going to be exceptionally good in the SEC. And Mr. and Mrs. Zeller did it right. Tyler at North Carolina and Cody, the freshman at Indiana. Cody might become a better player only because he's got 4 years to do it. Tyler Zeller is going to be a great pro and may lead North Carolina to the Final Four. They're that good, and he's that good.
Speaking of big men, how about Barone stepping it up here in the second half? It's really opened up their outside game, going inside and then out.
He's such a force inside. He's such a good passer from the high post, and he makes them really good.
Geiger for 3 from the corner, and that inside opening up the outside. Again, 5 threes and 6 tries for Jeremy Geiger.
Great call from the bench coming out of the timeout by Coach Verlin and company. Got what they wanted, Geiger off the screen in the corner.
Look at the 3-point shooting. Both teams sizzling from long range. 2 minutes to go.
And that's not a lackadaisical zone stop. Look at this shot.
After be blocked by Madison, the Bulldogs will keep it.
He went up and then pulled it in. But that three-point shooting is not because both teams are sitting back in the zone. He goes up and then pulls it back under. And give credit to Madison, stay with it, block it, and no foul.
Louisiana Tech calls a timeout here with 2 minutes to go. They have a couple remaining. And looking at Louisiana Tech now, they've lost a little bit of the momentum. Who needs to have the ball in their hands? Applebee's been a big story today.
Well, first and foremost, they need to pull off in Idaho here. They're going to get the ball underneath and run what they want to run. The question is, if you're Coach White right there, do you continue to pressure like you did the whole game that got you the lead? They have stopped and they have lost the lead. I think you keep going with it because that's your style. Now you got to run a good play here. I would think to get the ball to Appleby and let him make a decision. Not necessarily a shot, but a decision. They like to score quickly out of bounds unders, both teams.
Gaskins will trigger. Gets it into Gibson. Shot clock is under 10 now. Gets a screen from Gibson. Gaskins, 3 on the shot clock, throws it away, but it's kicked back to Appleby. And let's see what the call is here.
The clock reset, and I don't think Idaho had possession, so that's exactly what they're doing right there. Mark Whitehead is saying, no, they didn't have possession. There's 2 on the shot clock, and because of the kick, of course, it's Louisiana Tech's ball. That's a good call. I don't think they have possession either. You have to have possession for a reset. You can't see the shot clock there, but that's not really possession they're putting 2.
So 2 on the clock. Gaskins, Souza with the catch, and it's blocked by Barone. Gibson to follow. Did he get the shot off? He did not get the shot off.
The game clock is still running. They gave him the basket.
They gave him the basket, just beating the clock by a millisecond there, and they cut the lead to 2.
The game clock never stopped.
Here's Geiger. Almost turned it over. Thought about that 3 and a wise decision to back it up.
It's 2 tough calls down the stretch. Whether the shot was good, and did Geiger go up and down before he got rid of it?
Shot clock at 10. Morton in some trouble now. Here's Madison with 5 on the shot clock against Appleby. He's got a size advantage, leans in. Shot not there, Souza rebound.
What they got to do is hack the basket. Don't pull it back. This is what you do.
They can take the lead with the 3. McNeil's going to cut inside, and he draws contact.
That's what you got to do. You got him in a scramble situation, attack the basket, and Keon McNeil did. Great screen by Souza. Some really good defensive plays to stop baskets at either end.
That's the 3rd on Barone, 7th team foul. Here's the shot clock supposed violation that they say Gibson got the shot off before.
And everybody
clock
stopped.
went to 0.
The game clock didn't, so you got to play on. No whistle.
McNeil hits a big one to tie it up right here with 54 seconds remaining. Tech 13 of 14 from the foul line.
Great move by Coach White. If this goes in, he's got a sub at the table to set up his press.
And we are tied again at 76. This has been quite a basketball game here in Ruston.
Without the sub, you can press, but now you set up exactly and get everybody on the same page. 2-2-1 press. Here we go. Crowd's into it now.
Madison gets it into Tatum's hands. He's their best ball handler.
Both teams in the bonus.
They finally clear it into the hands of Barone. Geiger for 3. Madison the rebound. He's trapped in the corner, and a timeout called by Don Burley. There's a 6-second difference, game shot and shot clock, so they can't hold for 1 here, but still in pretty good position. Tied at 76 on the road.
The tough part is where they're taking it out of bounds. It's deep in the corner. It's a very difficult angle to get the ball in bounds there. But he had to call the timeout.
Look at our game reset. Possession arrow goes to the Bulldogs. Both teams in the bonus. Geiger's been the story in the second half. 5 for 7 for 3.
Well, he's been really tough. They ran the out of bounds play for him because of that. And there you can see Barone kicks it out to him. He's the senior, he's the man, and he's been the man. I would not be opposed to giving him the basketball game. But once again, priority number 1, get it in bounds. It's a very tough spot, Trey, to get the ball in bounds in the corner here because you have lousy angles.
You've got the big body in Barone. Sometimes the best option, just throw it up. Get it up in the air.
Or just throw it in the backcourt, get possession. There's obviously a ton of time left. More than a shot clock. Most important for Louisiana Tech, no offensive rebounds.
They get it into the hands of Tatum.
Man to man.
Entry, Barone with the left hand short. Tries to track down the loose ball. McNeil, and out of bounds. It will stay with the Vandals. And now, shot clock off. Now they can hold for one.
Now they can, and Barone with the offensive rebound to keep it alive, kept it alive. They went into him off the block screen. He got it, and he just couldn't finish. No foul, good defense. Now they can hold it.
Geiger backcourt, and it was close as McNeil contested that one, but Gordon got it.
Now you see what they're made of, man to man. Here we go.
Madison to Geiger. Appleby on him.
Always the shot, sometimes it's a tip.
10 seconds to go. Geiger. Open. Madison missed it. Barone follow. No. Second time won't go. And it will not count. They count that, but that should not count. It appeared it was at 0 before that shot went in, Nate. And they do wave it off. And we're headed to overtime.
They talked about it. Mark Whitehead said it. I don't think so. They're not. They're probably going to look on just to make sure, but we got a great view of it right there. 2 misses. Look up top. There's the clock. It's still in his hands. No way. That's good. We're playing some more basketball.
What a frantic finish here at the Thomas Assembly Center. Tied at 76. Barone had a couple cracks at that one at point-blank range.
Well, they got Geiger first, and that's what they wanted. They got that man, Barone, with the follow, and he just couldn't make it. And give credit to Louisiana Tech, not because Idaho missed, but they didn't foul. They play defense without fouling, because in that situation, you foul Barone, he goes to the line with less than a second to go, and he wins the basketball game with a free throw. So tough man-to-man defense, forget the zone in that situation. And they gutted it out, and they got it back. Now, who's got the momentum right now? That's an excellent question. I don't really know. Probably the home team, but Idaho has made the comeback to get back in this thing.
Well, the point you brought up was a good one just a few minutes ago. This crowd, all of a sudden, is really a factor. I mean, they're making some noise here, and that is a fresh start, a good thing here for the fans at Louisiana Tech. They're excited about basketball.
Well, for Coach White, I would think he's got to be happy that his freshmen didn't fold down the stretch in a very difficult situation. Remember, they lost the lead. Idaho had the lead. They didn't foul. They didn't fold. They hung in there defensively. They made shots when they had to, and they're going to get a chance to win this thing with 5 more minutes.
Another thing we need to keep a close eye on here in the overtime period is foul trouble. Vanderbilt has 4. Barone has 3. On the other side, Brandon Gibson with 4 fouls for Louisiana Tech. All even. Overtime, Louisiana Tech has an overtime win at Southeastern Louisiana and a double overtime win against Northwestern State on this floor, and the tip won by Idaho.
Both teams are in the bonus, but the bonus plus isn't going to happen for a while with 8 and 7 fouls respectively.
High post, Madison hands it to Geiger.
Both coaches doing really well after a timeout, getting what they want, and everybody on the same page.
Appleby the steal. Pull up, not there.
It takes guts for a freshman to take that shot. It was a good shot, though. Louisiana Tech wants a helter-skelter for the last 5 minutes. That's what they want. This team does not, and Coach Barone slows them down.
Both teams in the bonus here in overtime. Morton thought about the 3, checked by Gibson.
Barone trying to buy some time with Vanderbilt. He's got 4, but he's sitting.
Geiger gets a screen and drills it. Barone set him up and his 6th 3 of the game to give him the lead.
If they hold on to win this thing, it's been Barone and Geiger to make the difference down the stretch.
20 now for Jeremy Geiger to lead the way. Gaskins for 3, trying to answer, and he does from the right side.
That's his spot. He hit one early, hit 2 there. One in the corner, one on the wing.
He's 4 for 4 from 3. There's a look at the thing they're trying to battle against history, looking for their first win ever here at the Thomas Assembly Center.
Coach White called it white. Defense held up a piece of paper that was white, and it trapped the first pass. Just didn't work.
The pass underneath Barone. The reverse won't go. He misses another close one. Nice tip, though, back to Tatum.
Well, he's a gutty guy inside. He's missing him, but he kept it alive. They're not going to stop going to him. He's going to get his opportunities.
The defense by Appleby on Borton. Finally gets it to Madison.
Borton's giving him a lot. He hasn't given him points, but he's giving him all the stuff that doesn't show up in the stat sheet. Diving on the floor for the ball.
Don Verlin wants a timeout now with the shot clock down to 14. Not a lot of movement on the offensive end.
Yeah, and he knows they execute very well out of a timeout. They've done it before. Geiger did it in the corner on the out-of-bounds under. So with 14 seconds to go, he's got an eternity to run what he wants, and he's got a good place to throw it in bounds. As we said last time, tough now, it's right in front of his bench.
This is a big game for Idaho because they have to go to New Mexico State, a tough place for anybody to win down in Las Cruces. They have a win against Fresno State, trying to build off that momentum, and to get an overtime win here on the road against what we're finding out is a pretty good Tech team would be a good win for this program.
They have not won a game on the road this year. They're 0-4 coming in. Doesn't mean they can't win this one. Let me tell you something. The guys in the black shirts, they could care less about their 0-4 right now because they're in a basketball game, and they made a comeback to get in a basketball game. Interesting. I love to see what he does out of the timeout. Very interesting. Louisiana Tech in the 2-3 zone. That's a pretty good move by Coach White. I like it.
To get Geiger involved here. Tatum cutting inside. Nice pass to Madison, who's trapped on the baseline. And out of bounds. It's going to stay with the Vandals. Shot clock though at 1, so not a lot of options here.
Good move. Putting Vandemel in. They're throwing a lob up to the rim. I mean, you might as well. It's the only shot you have.
And knowing that, Vandemel comes in, so you got another big body that can tip it along with Barone.
He's going to go off Barone's screen, just throw it to the rim.
Tatum to the corner for Geiger. Did he get the shot off? He did, but misses it. It's tracked down, though, by Geiger. Count it, in 1.
Jeremy Geiger has been the man. He shot it exceptionally quickly because there's only 1 on the clock, and nobody sealed him out. He followed it and got it.
Did he get the shot off?
Well, watch. They close out, no way. Not even close. They close out to him, but they don't seal him out, and he hangs in there and goes for the basketball, gets it, and gets the and 1.
So they take advantage of that. That clock was a 0, without question. They get a break there and cash in on the conventional three-point play, and now they're up 3. Big moment here in the overtime period.
Unless it's the end of the game, you can't look at that on the video either. In a shot clock play, it's a completely subjective evaluation by the refs. End of a game, end of a half, yes you can.
Appleby inside. Lewis gets Barone in the air, blocks it, gets it back, and he's fouled. And that is number 4 on the big man.
Give J.L. Lewis credit for hanging in there, got it blocked and didn't quit on the play. 4 on Vandemel, 4 on Barone.
You got to leave him out there, though, don't you?
Here's what you want to do. Pick the guy you want to finish with and sit the other one and sit him on the bench. I would think he takes Barone. Well, he's not going to. I thought he'd take Barone out and put Vandemel in because you want to finish with Barone, I would think.
Lewis, just a 57% free throw shooter. That's it to 2. Now Gibson will come in for the Bulldogs. Cordarius Johnson goes to the bench.
Next time down the floor, you got to go right at Kyle Barone. Get it in Gibson, go at him. At least take the chance to foul him out if you're Louisiana Tech.
Gets 1 out of 2. Madison skying for the rebound. Now Geiger has scored all 6 points in overtime as we near the 2-minute mark. And the clock has stopped.
Nothing's moving. Shot clock now.
We have the clock now at approaching the 2-minute mark.
We're going from 2:20 to about 2 minutes.
Give me that!
Barone again with an opportunity to miss it.
And
there's big time clock issues.
The clock is at 1:47 right now. Now we have a shot clock issue as well to try to sort out here in overtime.
Well, the clock went from about 2:20 to about 2 minutes in about 3 seconds. Well, you can see at the one end of the court, the clock says 2:24 by the Louisiana Tech bench. At the other end of the floor, the clock says 1:47. And now the clock at the Louisiana Tech end is black. It went off.
And what we have up on the scoreboard in front of us here is 1:47, and now we've got that. But Did they have the shot clock issue as well?
They did. It didn't start. But that, I don't believe that clock is right. At 2:20, it went from 2:20 to 2 minutes in about 4 seconds. But I don't know if they realized that.
Mark Whitehead and crew will have to sort this out. A pivotal juncture here in the first overtime. 2-point lead for the Vandals. And we're going to hear from him as he comes over to us here courtside.
There's the explanation right there. He just came over and said the shot clock at one end was frozen, so as Idaho came up, they had no shot clock to work with. So they're figuring out the time. Mark Whitehead just explained that to me. They're figuring out the time, and that's what they put on. They gave him 2 seconds to bring it up. It took more than 2 seconds to bring it up, but that's the best they could go. I don't think the game clock is right, but there's nothing they can do about that now. Once it comes in play, it's not a correctable error anymore.
Smith enters it. They can grab the lead here with a 3.
They need points. They don't necessarily need a free, but they'll take it.
There it is. Gaskins short. Tipped out of bounds. It will go to the Vandals.
Can't fault Gaskins. That's his spot. He's hit 3 of them from there.
Well, he was 4 for 4 prior to that miss. So you're right. I mean, go to the hot hand.
Oh, yeah.
So 1:36 to go now, and the full court pressure. The Bulldogs have gone with it the entire game, and there's a foul. Speedy Smith fouling Tatum, who will head to a familiar spot, the free throw line, where he's 11 of 13 on the evening. Wild game here. We've seen a little bit of everything.
Let's go, guys. Wait underneath. 2 shots.
Tatum has 18, 6 assists, but he has done his damage on the foul stripe. And he extends the lead to 3. Now Souza comes in. Kaiser takes a seat for Louisiana Tech.
Make or miss, attack the basket. You need points. You don't need a 3, you just need points.
And now a 2-possession game, minute and a half to go. Gaskins not shy about shooting the 3.
And Gibson hasn't done anything in the last couple minutes, but he's been exceptionally good all night.
Nice screen by Souza. Smith tries to go back to a good play made by Madison, and tough pass to make right there.
Yeah, it was a tough pass. He kind of lollipopped it in there.
Approaching a minute to go in the overtime period. You can bet they'll be patient on this trip. Madison back to Geiger.
1 minute remaining.
A lot of time left. Louisiana Tech, you need a stop here. No foul, you just need a stop.
Madison driving on Gibson, lost the handle, gets it back, lays it in.
It's not a travel because he lost the handle.
And he's limping now, but the lead is 6. Madison in a lot of pain. Here's Gibson trying to take advantage, and the foul called on Madison.
You still need points. You don't need a 3, you need points. Because if you score, you're going to press, and you know that if you're Louisiana Tech.
He's in a lot of pain right now. Hard to tell what happened on that trip down the floor. Here it is.
Probably got his leg twisted up there before the shot, but you can see he just hung with it. And he pointed right to the bench the minute he went in, or the minute the ball went in.
Brendan Gibson in the line shooting.
Imperative to make the free throws for the obvious reason of points, but then to set your press up.
And this is a 1-and-1 for Brandon Gibson. Big one right there. And that pressure, again, can pay dividends late in games to steal an extra possession. What a game for Gibson. Gets 1 out of 2, and it's into the hands of Vanderbilt. And he's fouled.
That's a good foul. Vanderbilt is a 64% free throw shooter. That's a good foul. We saw him in practice. He's got a nice stroke. He just hadn't shot a high percentage.
Yeah, they do get 2 shots on the other end. They're in the double bonus now.
You can see at the bottom of your screen there, the bonus plus indicates that, and 1 timeout. Idaho, a couple for Louisiana Tech. So next time Louisiana Tech scores, timeout.
Good looking stroke right there for the senior. Junior college at Monroe College in New York. A Canadian born in Nigeria, has been a real spark plug on the defensive end. Hasn't given him a lot from the offensive end tonight, but he gives him 2 big free throws right there to extend the lead.
Yeah, he's been in big foul trouble, but to come through like that is good. 4th timeout if you guys in the white shirts.
Gaskins, 3 is good. And a timeout, Michael White and the Bulldogs. You can't be much better from long range. Gaskins, 5 of 6.
Well, he liked the right corner. The left corner's not bad either. Definitely behind the line, scoring. Coach White hesitated to call timeout because after they score, they know they're going to press, but he wants to make sure everybody's on the same page and he's got one more in his pocket.
Gaskins, one of their leaders from a standpoint of just being a guy that has been there, veteran, senior from Alpharetta, Georgia, already has his degree. And we talked about his rebounding and the intangibles, but he's showing he can shoot the ball very well from long range as well.
See, there's one foot, there's the other foot, no question about it. The blue sneakers are behind the black line. You know, and he's a 5th-year player as well, having graduated from the University of Mississippi and now playing here. And Coach White knows him better than most, and he counts on him in crucial situations.
Going after his master's degree, leads the team in minutes this year.
Michael Kaiser back in to head up this press with his length and athleticism. Now you got to foul. If you don't get the steal, you have to foul, but steal first. This is when Barone's going to get the ball along with Gaskins, you would think.
Madison can't get it into Tatum, gets it into Borton, and he's fouled. Now, Matt Borton is a guy that has only gone to the line. He's 9 of 18 from the stripe. Not a guy that you'd think he'd be a good foul shooter, but his numbers haven't shown that so far.
We talked about the fact that he hasn't done much offensively tonight. He's done all the other little things. He can change that statement by me right now with 2 big ones.
Redshirt freshman from Yakima, Washington.
He gets 2, not 1 and out.
Good on that one.
Yeah, Vanderbilt 64 netted 2 of them. He's 50%. That looked pretty good right there.
Gibson will come in for Kaiser. Offense for defense.
1.
Gordon gets them both. Free throw shooting has been excellent for both teams. 6-point lead now.
Press by Idaho just to slow down the opponent, not do anything else.
Got to think 3 here, don't you? Time running low now.
There it is.
Appleby forces the 3. Got it from the right wing. Wow. What a shot for a guy that really was not set off balance, and he delivered.
Let me tell you, Idaho was playing 3-point defense, too. They were going to let you go by him. Look, they're all around the 3-point line. Watch this shot. Going left for righty is very hard. Nothing but the bottom. That's a really tough shot for a right-handed player with a player dead in your face, Jeremy Geiger. He nailed it.
He's 39% from out there. That's the part of the game you think he needs to work on, but he's a true freshman. The sky's the limit for this kid. He's got a little bit of everything.
He's a great athlete is what he is. And he proved it right there by drifting and sticking it. Now this is what their bread and butter is, pressing. I'm sure that Coach White talked to them in the huddle saying, guys, this is what we do. We got to turn them over once and we'll have a chance. If they don't get the steal, they have to foul.
Vandals have the timeout remaining.
Tatum, Geiger, and Barone all in the place to catch the ball.
Both teams so good from long range in this one, and they have been from the foul line as well. Geiger in the corner. They have that timeout. Tries to pass, and it will go to the Bulldogs here. Madison can't believe it.
Boy, I can't either. I thought they slapped it out of his hands. Here's a great look. Ball goes to Madison.
That looked like Smith got a hand on that one.
Here's a great angle, great camera work. Smith hit it.
That should be Idaho ball right there.
We do not have instant replay in college basketball, so we can't look at it.
A pivotal call right there. They can tie now with the 3, and they don't even need to think 3 here with 12 seconds. They could think bucket, foul, and extend this game.
Well, the one problem is at the bottom of your screen, Louisiana, they don't have any timeouts left. So if they don't get a 3, they have to
foul
press.
Right
they know that. But it's not a tough deal because they press anyway all the time. So it's no big deal telling them they got to press. You can see Coach White using his right hand, which is not in the best of shape to draw the play up, but he knows what he's doing. I would think penetration and kick for a three if it's there. If not, score, press again, extend the basketball game. But you can't wait for the last second if you take the first shot, because if it doesn't win, game's over.
From Michael White's perspective here, the fact that Idaho has knocked down free throws, does that go into your thinking here?
No, because the situation is if we score and tie it, of course we're not going to foul. If we don't score and you're Michael White, you got to foul. Whether you got to extend the game. If you score 2, you got to foul as well because you got to extend the game. Now, I would think you got to score within 5 seconds to make this a legitimate shot.
There's Gaskins. He'll be a marked man. You see his numbers from 3. But they have, as a team, shot it well. 13 of 24 beyond the arc. Gibson has 3 of them. Appleby has a couple. Let's see where they go here. Trailing by 3.
Gaskins once drove it in. Now he's not till he can shoot the ball.
Speedy Smith to trigger it. There's Gaskins. Loses his footing. 7 on the clock. Gibson. They're going to have to force one up here. Appleby with 2. Appleby leaning in. Draws the foul on Borton. And he's going to the line with a chance to tie this one up.
That's a smart kid. I tell you what, it was panic city time, but they didn't panic. They lost the ball in the corner. They got, watch this. This is so smart. Shot fake. Borton goes up, and then he jumps into him to get 3 opportunities.
65% free throw shooter. And Borton can't believe it.
Oh, they're reviewing to see who's behind the line, which is great for both teams. They get a timeout they didn't have. You know, if you're a Louisiana Tech fan, Appleby's going to be a fun kid to watch.
Are the feet behind the line?
No question about it. Yes, still, yeah, they are. Close, but I think they are. And you can see Borton like, oh my gosh, what did I do? Here's a great angle. Is the blue sneaker behind the black line? It is. It's close, but it is. And it's got to really look like he's on the line for him to change the call.
You know, that play by that freshman is something you see in the NBA where you lean into. I mean, what court awareness to know that guy may be going straight up, but I can lean into it and draw that contact. What a great player he's going to be in this for this program.
That's a play a freshman does not make. You know, as we get into January, I always like to say freshmen aren't freshmen anymore. They're freshmores. Because
I like it.
They played 16 games, but they're going to play around 30. So it's only half of them. Now it's a really heads-up play. Now, I think the advantage here is for Idaho because Appleby's standing there and he can't get the line. There's nobody in this building wants to get to that free throw line before Appleby does. The other angle, this is the better angle. Can you see any space between his right foot and the line? I think yes. I don't think he's on it. They're giving him 3.
So 3 free throws coming up, a chance to tie it. 1.2 seconds remaining in this first overtime.
Everybody's in the huddle for Louisiana Tech except that man. He's on the free throw line. I told you once to get there. Now, trust me, the first 2 are easy. The third one's the tough one.
Raheem Appleby, 65% free throw shooter. He's hit some big shots. Had a game-winning 3 at the buzzer in the win here against Northwestern State in 2 overtimes.
Bandamel wasn't in the game, so he can't go in the game until they shoot one. If he misses one of these, they're going to miss the third one intentionally and try to get the tip.
He had 26 in the win against Arkansas. Little Rock does not play like a freshman. Big moment right here.
Nobody on the line because the first 2 don't matter.
2 more to try to draw even.
Can't get a rebound on the first 2, so Coach White over there talking. Coach White's not even looking. His back is to the court.
And he misses the second one. Now here comes into play what you talked about.
Got to miss it. Got to miss it to get a tip.
And Souza is going to be in now, the big man, at 6'10",
as well
near
as
the bucket.
Kaiser, as well as Kaiser. You got to miss on purpose, but you got to hit the rim. They don't have a time. Oh, yes,
Idaho's going to call their final timeout here.
Most important, you got to tell Raheem Appleby, forget it. It's over. Great athletes have lousy memories. You got to hit the rim on this shot. We used to, when I was coaching at the Citadel, we would practice missing. Told you how many blowouts we had. We would practice missing, and we would cross the people on the lane to try to get a tip. 1.2 is plenty of time, and you can even catch it and shoot it. But you got to go up strong. Of course, Coach Verlin's telling you got to seal out, guys. No offensive rebounds.
Okay, let me ask you that. There are different ways to approach this. Some people try to bank it to hit the rim. Others try to hit it off the side of the bucket. Do you plan it to where you get a guy in position, say I'm going to miss right on the shot, or is that thinking too much?
If you practice that, no. We used to practice. We weren't too nuts. We used to practice missing. So in a situation like this, we knew where the ball was coming off. But the main thing is they got great athletes inside. You said they have Seuss in there, and they put in Michael Kodger. So those are two good leapers. Just hit the rim and give it a hot. Make sure you hit it so it's a high bounce if possible, and just go get it. Just try to go get it. Even if you don't score, if you're Louisiana Tech, you hope you get fouled. On the other hand, Bandamel and Barone are in there to seal out.
Well, Appleby's done everything else tonight. Let's see if he can miss as well when they need it, with 1.2 on the clock.
And Coach Verlin's team worked on pinching on the foul line to not let the players in the white shirts get in there. It's very important right now. A foul can happen. Crazy things can happen here in this shot.
True freshman, we expect him to miss. Let's see what he can do. Banks it off the back iron. Tatum the rebound, that'll do it. Idaho wins it 90-88 in overtime. A wild finish in Ruston. Great effort by Michael White's club, but they come up a little bit short this time.
A great basketball game. A very young team hung in there down the stretch. They just couldn't finish because of senior Geiger and junior Barone, who sealed the deal when they needed him.
And Idaho wins their first ever game at the Thomas Assembly Center. First win in 7 tries, surviving 90-88 as they improved to 2-1 in the WAC. Louisiana Tech now 0-2 in conference play after a tough loss. Once again, our final score, 90-88, Idaho. For Nate Ross and our entire crew, I'm Trey Bender. The preceding has been an exclusive presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Good evening from Ruston, Louisiana.